league, and just excited. See, nice to test yourself against these and hopefully come out on top.
Good luck. Joe, your 4th game against Featherstone. You've got 2 wins in the bag already. How have you prepared for this one?
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game, like the other games that we've had. We're looking forward to it, especially different venue as well. So.
It's for her. It's for him.
Let's go.
It's for them. If you aren't around. Life insurance from Legal & General starts from just £5 a month and could support your loved ones financially if the worst happens to you. You'll also receive a £100 gift card after you take out cover. Life insurance. It's for them. Get your quote today.
Ocado's got 3 for £10 on your barbecue favourites. And with £20 off your first shop, there's an Ocado just for you. Ocado's got Doritos 180-gram sharing packs, now £1.25. And with £20 off your first shop, there's an Ocado just for you. Ocado's got 460ml tubs of Haagen-Dazs, now £3 each. And with £20 off your first shop, there's an Ocado just for you. Ocado's got 460ml tubs of Haagen-Dazs, now £3 each. And with £20 off your first shop, there's an Ocado just for you.
It's time for the Day 1 headliners here at the Summer Bash. The top 2, Featherstone Rovers versus Leigh Centurions, live here on Premier Sports. I've swapped out Leon and Ryan, and I've got Hendo and Kev back in the studio. Boys, do not go anywhere. For a big game like this, we need all the big team news. And here to provide us with that is Mark Wilson.
Yes, Emma, big news on both sides of the fence. We'll start with Featherstone. No Riley Jacks for them. He's out injured, could be out for a couple of weeks. So Morgan Smith and Jonathan Ford are at halfback. Jack Broadbent, the fullback. Connor Jones at dummy half. And on the bench, the likes of Eze, Fleming and Ferris. What about Lee Centurions? Well, the big name inclusion, Lachlan Lamb, his first inclusion for Lee. He will start live on the bench. Mellor and Reynolds partner up at halfback. Caleb Atkins is the fullback. Ed Chamberlain and Nene McDonald in an all-star Lee backline. Plenty of tries in that Centurions team. Will Featherstone's defence hold firm tonight? We will find out. It's the main event. It's Featherstone against Lee.
Kev, no Riley Jacks, that's a huge blow, isn't it, that?
Huge loss. Just spoke to him. He's done his syndesmosis in his ankle, so you know it's not just a loss today, it's going to be a loss for an extended period. So he's the guy for me who could threaten this team, but with John O'Ford and Morgan Smith, they've still got some firepower there. So I think, you know, they'll have to spread that, you know, variation through the team rather than relying on Riley, because his kicking game and running game is fantastic.
Yeah, look, he's been class, but what it does present is an opportunity for John O'Ford, because he was brought into this team and he's yet to play in that standoff role. He's played centre, back row, he's had to sort of makeshift and get put in a number of different positions, but this evening he'll get his opportunity now to step up and showcase the attributes and talent
and
he
he
has.
likes to be that general.
Absolutely.
He likes to be that main one, so when he's
100%.
coming off the bench, it doesn't really suit him.
Hendo, is this a bigger game for Fev than Lee?
Well, I'd probably say yes, and the reason for that for me, Emma, is because they need to get a more complete performance. I think the last couple of outings against Lee, they have been second best, but I also look at the last 5 games of Featherstone and they've conceded on average just under 24 points a game. So it's the defensive side for me that's most concerning, and an area that they need to fix up pretty quickly. Their attack's not been an issue. They're on point with that fairly well most weeks, but I've just seen a slip in their defensive sort of attitude and ability in recent weeks.
And they can't afford to do that in a game like this tonight, can they, Kev?
They can't, because the Red Hot Lee, if there's one area Lee are very, very good at scoring points, they've got so many attacking weapons. When you talk about variation, you look at Lee, there could be 17 man of the matches out there today, so you can't give them opportunity. I think for me, Featherstone need to get under the skin. They need to disrupt that attack and really get stuck in. I look at the team and they've got 4 forwards on the bench, so I think Brian McDermott has said, look, we need to go after these, and if you get tired, don't worry, we've got some replacements for you. So I think they're going to need to go after him. When they played him in round, I think it was round 2,
yes.
It was a battle, it was a mud battle. It's getting quite greasy out here now, so that'll, you know, contrive to a game where it might be physical. We know how physical Brian Mack is as a coach and was as a player, and I think he'll try and get his team to do that today.
Well, let's get the thoughts from the man himself. Here's Brian McDermott.
Brian, we're here again for the 4th time this season, Featherstone versus Lee. How are you feeling ahead of this one?
Yeah, looking forward to it. It's clearly going to be a big challenge with where 2 things. We're not in form, and we've encountered a run of injuries which they're just niggling at the moment. We get some people back and then we lose some people. So yeah, I think what I said last time we played Lee, nothing will be decided today, but it certainly gives us an indicator where we're at once again.
Would it be fair to say that on the last 2 occasions when you've lost, you've actually not been far off, really?
Well, I feel the last 2 times we've played, we've been nowhere near winning, but on the scoreboard it's been close, yeah. I think the last time we played, I thought we were way off last time we played. That's more to do with how Lee played, you know, and put us on the back foot. And then after 65 minutes, I think there's something like 8 points in the game. So, yeah, that's how close it can be at times, but sometimes we were so far off as well.
And I watched a recent interview with you, and you mentioned that you're in a bit of a slump at the moment as a squad. Can you elaborate? What do you mean by that?
Well, I don't think we're playing well. I win or lose, I don't think we're playing well. We got done by Batley a few weeks ago. Batley played extremely well. We lack so much energy in the game, and yeah, I don't think we've been a really good team for quite some time now. But we've been doing enough to get the win. We've been in some contests. It's not quite a black and white. We've had some injuries. You know, our front row rotation about those who play and those who don't play has been crazy. We just haven't been able to name 2 starting front rowers all year. So we're missing some, you know, our squad at the start of the year. We had 6 props, and they've all been injured or they've gone out on loan. So that's been a big deal for us. Any team misses a front row, you're going to struggle. So, but all that said, we've been in games and we've been in the contest. Maybe we shouldn't have been in the contest, but when we've been in the contest, I've seen loads of fight. I've seen loads of team spirit, loads of team ethics inside that team, which is good. But it's not going to get us promoted this year. That we can't just be brave. We've got to be better than what we are.
And just a word on today then, and on the atmosphere of the Summer Bash. For an occasion like this, do you prepare differently, or is it just business as usual?
No, you don't prepare differently at all, but it's going to be different. And it probably adds a little bit more of an excitement and an intensity about the day, which you wouldn't get on a 3 o'clock on a Sunday afternoon.
Some good memories for you here, though. You're a joker. I'll leave you to it. Well, good luck today. Thanks.
Brian Matt being as honest as ever there. There's something a bit different around here, isn't there, boys? Is this a bit of a light show that's going on?
Don't get him dancing.
Oh yeah, no, hold your horses, wait for kick-off. Kev, we just heard Brian talk really openly and honestly, actually, there. But where do you think this Lee side can get at Fev when they want to?
Well, I think they'll do what they've been doing all year. They'll get the ball out wide to the wingers. They've got Josh Charnley, who's almost the top try scorer ever in the Super League. So they've got Blake Ferguson on the other side. They'll get the ball wide, and then Edwin Pape, my favourite player in the competition. I think he'll cut them up the middle. So they'll open up. They'll try and make the spaces bigger. They'll use the forwards. John Asiata is a forward. Well, he's an half-back in a forward's body. He's so skillful. And I think Pape will go straight through the middle.
Hey, Hendo, if we had £1 for every time you mentioned a Pape, we wouldn't be coming to work, would we?
He's my favourite player. He's took him off me.
Do you also notice that the light show stopped since you started dancing, Hendo? Let's talk about the 1895 Cup final, because it feels a while ago, but that was a real marker, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so. And I think what we saw that day, well, I felt anyway, is I just thought Lee just looked a little bit more powerful, quicker, sharper. I think it was evident the leg speed through the middle third of the field was clear to see. And I think that may have an impact on why Brian McDermott has gone with 4 forwards on the bench this evening. I think he knows that Lee are going to come hard and fast and direct through the middle, then look to play off the back with a Pape, generate ruck speed. So I think he feels that he needs a little bit more leg speed through that middle third. And again, if his forwards are going to tire, he's got the ability to bring people off the bench to try and combat that.
There's an element as well for this Fev side that they have something to prove, and that could be dangerous, Kev.
Yeah, definitely, and he's almost sold it as they are that far the underdogs. He said, Ross said you're close, and he said no, we're not. So I think he's using them mind games, which he's the master at. I think he set his side up and said, look, let's go after him. You've got nothing to lose. It's a free hit. Go out and ambush him.
Absolutely. Well, let's hear how the Lee head coach, Adrian Lamb, is feeling ahead of this one.
Adrian, first things first, some big news this week. Your son, NRL star, signed for the club, is on the bench today.
Yeah, he's making his debut tonight, namely on the bench as mentioned, and just excited for him, excited for the club. It's the boys are going okay at the moment, but he's just going to add his little bit to it as the season unwinds.
And all things aside, I know you can't be biased and all of that, but how special is this moment for you as a dad?
Yeah, it's bigger than that really. I mean, the father-son, dad-lad thing, as I've been laughed about by the boys this week, is in place, but more importantly, we've got a job on hand for us, including tonight, and with 6 games to go after this one for the rest of the season. It's really coming to a point. So, really to coach him. Hopefully, he can bring to us another level. But we've got a lot of work to do yet, and as we come towards this important part of the season.
Well, you've not made it easy for him. It's straight into a tough game here today. You've played Featherstone 3 times already, won 2 of them. They'll be up for this one.
Yeah, I think the last time we played them was at home and a good victory there. And, they'll want to respond for that. I'm sure there'll be a tough, aggressive game tonight again. So, we've been in some decent form ourselves over the last couple of weeks. We've defended well, so hopefully if we can just produce that again, we'll get the rewards.
What's the game plan tonight then?
Oh, it's just about us really. It's about making sure that I feel that in the 3 times we've played them, we haven't been our best, so we've still got our best game to play in regards to against Featherstone. So, I think, as mentioned, we just make sure we complete high and give ourselves an opportunity at the back end of the game.
Well, enjoy the occasion. Good luck today.
Kev, we heard Adrian Lamb mention there when he was asked by Ross about his son. That must be a weird feeling, mustn't it?
Yeah, it will be a weird feeling, but when your son is such a talented player like Lachlan is, it'll be a massive boost for not only Adrian, the team, like he says, they've got Ben Reynolds and Joe Mellor there, but what Lachlan Lamb can do, you know, he's played at the highest level internationally, and he's also played for the Sydney Roosters, so he's coming over here on merit. And but yeah, it must be very strange for Adrian telling him what to do.
And speaking of sons, your boys are here watching this. It's an incredible atmosphere, isn't it? And what I've loved seeing is that there are so many kids here today.
There is. I mean, obviously, my two boys are coming out, the Lee Centurion players, because they play with one of the community clubs, the Lee East. So they're getting to come out and escort the players out of the field. So it's a great moment for them. But like you said, there's a great carnival atmosphere here. It's a festival of rugby league. We've seen so many fans here through the door, enjoying every spectacle and what each of the games have to offer. But it's great to see so many young faces as well enjoying our great sport, which is rugby league.
It really is. It's great for the game. And just very quickly, we know that you both love the Pape, but any other standout players for you that we're to look out for in this one?
Yeah, well, I think from the league's perspective, I think John Nasiata, I think he's had an incredible season so far. What a fantastic signing he has been for that club. And what John does, he has the ability to just go hard and direct, get you a quick play of the ball, but he has the ability to move the point of attack and move the ball. So it gives a different attacking dimension to the Lee side. And John O'Ford for Featherstone Rovers, I'm really looking forward to seeing him this evening as well.
Boys, very quickly, in a word, who's winning?
Lee.
Right, that means Feather winning now you've said that. Right, Kev, you go jump on comms, over to you. You can feel the excitement in the air. Leon Price and Mark Wilson.
Cheers, Emma. Waiting teams out here. The night drawing in, the light show not quite taking the effect that it would do a little bit later on this evening, but Adrian Lamb looking quite relaxed. Let's have a look at the two teams, and we'll start off with Featherstone Rovers, and the big news is no Riley Jackson, could be out for quite a while as well. Morgan Smith then is partnered by Jonathan Ford, who makes just his second start for Rovers. Moores, Jones and Springer's a strong looking front three, with Helliwell, Hardcastle and Wildy making up the pack. What about on the other side of the coin? Well, we know all about Lachlan Lamb. He starts on the bench. That means Mellor and Reynolds continue at half-back. But look at that back line. Akins, Ferguson, Chamberlain, McDonald and Charnley, all star-studded and plenty of experience on the bench. And Kev's favourite player, Edwin Ipape, sure to come on and make a big impact. So the two teams about to come out, the fourth meeting between these two of the season at the fourth different venue. They've met down at Post Office Road, they've met at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, they've met at the Lee Sports Village, and tonight Leon Price, they meet here at the Bash. Lee in their change strip, the red and black. It's the fourth meeting. Lee looking for a third win.
Yeah, I think Lee are the dominant side at the moment, and as you read through that back line there, Mark, Ferguson, Chamberlain, Denny McDonald, Josh Charnley, I mean, that's a good enough backline for Super League level, definitely. I think that's where they're going to be dangerous today. They'll be looking to make it 3 wins out of 4. I think Featherstone are up against the couple of players that they've lost. So like Max says, they've got nothing to lose in this game, and that makes them dangerous.
It does, and a lot of people have written Featherstone off, the fact that they aren't going to come top of the pile. They've been written off by many, but the facts are they've got to win one game, and that's the game at the end of the season. If they can make it to that £1 million game as we build it up. So Featherstone, if you like, are building towards that now, aren't they, surely?
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Mark. And as you see, they're bringing in players. They've brought in Tom Lynham, who's had many years of Super Leagues experience. And then they've brought Jonathan Ford now, starting to play a couple of games. He's got some fantastic experience and unbelievable half-back.
The flat cappers, look, they've turned up. They still believe, Leon. They want their team to knock Lee over tonight.
Absolutely, they should believe as well. And they've got nothing to lose tonight. They're a great team. They've got some great players. And I think we're in for a cracker here, Mark.
Well, we've had comfortable wins for Sheffield, for Batley and for Halifax, who will join them in the winners' circle this evening. Kevin Brown has made his way up. Who are you going for, Kev?
I think, Lee, I just look at the side. They're already a very good side. The last couple of times they played, when you've got Lachlan Lamb coming in and Josh Charnley to add, they're not just good players at this level, they're international players. They're absolute quality. So, for me, Featherstone have to play as good as they have done all season, and Lee will probably have to dip a little bit if the result is to go Featherstone's way. But I'm expecting a big game from Joey Leilua. He came over as a massive signing. We've just not quite seen him kick off.
Well, we are going to have the 13 seconds ahead of kick-off as we support the Rugby Football League's Tackle It campaign. No room for racism or discrimination in any walk of life. The now trademark applause from the fans as well. as we're about to get underway. We mentioned the change strip of Lee Centurions. There's the change strip of Featherstone as they pay their salute to the services. Brian McDermott, a former member of the Armed Forces, of course, knows what it's like to wear those colours for real.
Does he ever? He used to remind us that in the change room at Bradford, the old Marine. Very scary times if he ever came across you in the change rooms as a young lad, the Bradford Bull changing rooms. Adrian Lamb there, concentrating on getting his team's performance right this afternoon. This evening, shall I say.
It's going to be interesting how this game comes, because Featherstone have been well beaten, Kevin, on the last 2 times we've seen these two come together.
Yeah, they have, but I think sometimes the pressure's all on Lee. It's, you know, everyone's expecting them to tear them to pieces, but they've got to do their hard stuff first, and that's what they normally do. I think Kai O'Donnell, he's really added a lot to this Lee side, but yeah, as Smith will get his forwards going, Sidlow will get his meters up, and that's what they need to do first before they go wide.
Here come the Featherstone Rovers then. Junior Moores with the first carry, and he's picked up and shoved back. And that's harder than it looks, believe you me. He's a big man, Junior Moores, but the Leaf forwards were into him, and they're firing into the tackles here. Lee beaten in round 2 on a horrible night at Featherstone. It was muddy, it was raining, it was cold. Not been beaten in the league since that point. And Springer carries forward, and Rovers look to get themselves forward here up towards their 40-metre line. It may only be 2 points at stake today, but it just feels that it's a whole lot more than that. As the kick downfield is caught on the bounce, Aikins advancing forward, and you'd have to say after set 1 it's advantage to Lee.
Yeah, it was great defence. I think it was some good carries as well, but Lee's defence was just, to a man, very ferocious. They were flying off the line. Everything we spoke about in the last game, well, you've got to chase your kicks, you've got to use that line speed. Lee did that, and it's given him a good starting point for the first set.
Here come Lee forward now, working away, over halfway, looking to put some pressure on. Centre field, Smith looks to get the ball away on the last one, and Reynolds will hoist it high. Pressure on the far side, well taken, well dealt with in fairness by Featherstone Rovers.
Yeah, it's a good first set. I don't think they threw too much at Featherstone. Then Ian McDonald coming in, doing plenty of work as he always does. Lee now front load of energy in defence.
Looking to force an error here. Rovers work their way forward. This change kick goes. That Lee one's quite nice, isn't it? The red and black looks quite fetching as the ball work forward. By Rovers. The meter's hard to come by. Here's Ford, gets it away. He's had to be patient, hasn't he, Jonathan Ford? Only his second start since joining the club. This one here, Ford will be the go-to man as he gets the kick away, and he got hit there as he kicked it. Taken by Aikins, and the ball will be brought forward. It's a better chase on the end of it.
And that's what you want to see by Joey Leilua, leading that line. When he's chasing kicks and hitting people hard, it's a great sign, but that's not when, you know, his teammates are a little bit too energetic and they get off the line before he's played the ball and give a penalty. This is where Lee are very, very good. Adrian Lamb, you know, he's put the structures in place from set restarts, you know, from the penalty. I expect to see some sort of attacking structure as a team.
Just a cheap one from Gadwin Springer there, not getting back on side. Real cheap one. Gives Lee the perfect opportunity now.
There is Brian McDermott looking down from on high. I think he's in a stand. No, he's just sat to our left-hand side, looking on with Adam Cuthbertson. As Asiata's looking to offload, he gets it away, and Kuboy will take it forward. 30 away here. Lee looking for the opening score. The final game of day 1 at the Bash. 3 more tomorrow. Live from 1:45 when Barrow take on Widnes. A big game in the playoff race. As Aikins did well to hang on to that.
Good defence.
Good defence.
Good read. That was one of them players that you've got to make sure you come up ball and all. Great read from Craig Hall.
Ball now coming forward. The tackle made, 15 away. Moore's looking to just add his body weight to that challenge.
Big shape left.
Smith to Mellor. Mellor to Reynolds. Reynolds drops the ball back to Wardle. Wardle slicing his way back in field. He's tackled 10 away, last one. Smith is looking. Asiata makes a run to the right. It goes to Mellor. Mellor cuts back. veers back infield, puts the kick in, dropped on the line. Is that going to be a knock-on? I think it is from Morgan Smith. He couldn't take it in. Well, Mellor there found his options closing in front of him, and he's still got the kick away.
And that's when he's dangerous. I think it was actually a little bit of a misplay. John Asiata overrunning, so he just takes the line up, and then when he sees something, he just plays on instincts, and that's that continuity that they've got. Ben Reynolds and Joe Mellor. He was the runner, and now it's a fantastic area, to attack from. We've seen how dangerous this can be from the middle of the field.
Well, they've got 4-on-3, and that's before if the loose forward peels off the back of the scrum. So this is a huge chance. Featherstone are all miles offside. Ford has deliberately gone offside, I think, to spoil the play there, hasn't he? He knew he was offside, Leon. He's basically stood alongside the lead player when he caught the ball.
I think he's thought, we're in that much trouble here, I'm just going to go offside and let the referee call a penalty. They were in big trouble, they were 4-on-3. They trapped the ball in the back of the scrum, and Ford just continued to play offside, knowing that they were in trouble.
That was bordering on a professional foul, wasn't it?
Yeah, he'll have to be careful.
He was. It was so noticeable. He went and he thought, there's 4 guys here, there's only 3 of us, there's another one coming.
That's the fear of the pace of Mellor too.
Here they go then now, the ball firing here to Asiata, short pass, they're trying to hold him up. Wildy made a good contact there, needed to as well. Lee on the try line. Their fans looking on as they move into Sidlow. Short pass, opened up, and there's John Asiata. He enjoys that, the big fella. 6th of the season for him, celebrates in front of the League fans. It was too simple, clinical, but effective from the Centurions. They lead by 4 points to 0.
It's a fantastic play. The service from dummy half is unbelievable. Right on the money from Aaron Smith. The ball then from Sidlow, I think, is the turn up. If you watch here, it's Smith who's looking left, looks right, scanning around. The service is unbelievable, right on the money. Sidlow catches. What a pass to Asiata, and that's where you get high-level skill from Sidlow, who has got great set of hands, good vision. Asiata supporting, forward to forward, unbelievable try, Kev.
And it looks like a set play, but it's not. The set play is to get Sidlow one-on-one, but the vision and the skill to come up with that pass, that pace with players in your face is amazing. And I don't think there's a better front rower in the league near the try line than Adam Sidlow. And John Asiata's probably the next one who pushes him close, but he's got skill all over the field. Great combination, great try, and a great start from Lee.
Should be a routine kick for Ben Reynolds. Penny for Ben Reynolds sorts coming into this one. We mentioned earlier in the year Keenan Brown left out of a couple of big games. He doesn't play against that. Interesting, Keenan has signed a new long-term deal with Lee, but when Lachlan Lamb is fit and up to speed, he's not going to sit on the bench or in the stand, has he?
No, he's probably your main half. He's that good. You don't bring a lad over from Sydney Roosters, and he's not come over because he can't play. He could get a game in Australia for many clubs. So the fact that his dad's here as well, I think he'll make him earn his stripes. But he is such a good player. He's here on merit.
Certainly is. And here to play. The feeling is that Lee are recruiting for Super League. They've still got to get there, but they're recruiting a team that I think they've learned from lessons in the past that you can't recruit a team when you win that game at the end and hope to get the pick of the players. They're actually going for the players they want now and taking the chance that they will get there.
Yeah, and just reference the fact that they've signed Keenan Brand up for next year. They've got so many Australians or imports at the minute. They can only have a certain number, and they're over that. The rules are different in Super League, so some will inevitably leave, and some of these real good promising English players will play Super League next year.
They will indeed. Ball now working its way short side, Hall with a tackle.
If promoted.
Yeah, and it is an if. Who knows what might happen. In sport, anything can happen, often does, and here go Lee, moving it through the hands again. Good carry from Wardle. Last one, 40 out from the line. See. Ball on the 40s, hoisted high towards the main stand. Is this going out on the full as it landed? It did go out on the full, so an error from Lee and a chance for Featherstone now to get the ball near the halfway line.
Yeah, just a little bit of lack of concentration, a bit of direction. It gives Featherstone the ball on the 40-metre line, some cheap yards, and they need to play some rugby, earn some field position. roll your sleeves up, get downfield, and look for a good last play. But they really need to get going again here. There's 31 minutes gone, 30 minutes gone. They need a good set here.
They do indeed. Here's Junior Moores, very much a veteran these days, but still good value. Gadwin Springer brings it forward. Connor Jones waits at dummy half. Now brings it forward to Ford, gets it away. Some big names missing for Featherstone, we must remember that. They haven't got all their troops on board either. As now Ford comes short side, gets it away to Hall. Hall offloads. Oh, it's gathered by a Lee player, but did it touch a Lee hand before it went to ground? I think it did, and Moore, our man in us, Liam Moore, sorry, our man in the middle today.
I really like the way. I really like the way Ford's going down the short side. He's sticking behind the ruck, coming down short sides, catching Lee on the back foot, and Hall's up there pushing. It's definitely the right call. Fev need to come up with a play here. They need to make the most of this field position and numbers at the scrum.
Yeah, I really like the way Jack Broadbent's just stood behind the scrum. He's just waiting to pick a side. He's probably going to pick the right side where there's a 4v3, and you'd expect them to challenge, especially with Joey Leilua over there.
Well, that's where they're going to. Leilua leads the line now. Good tackle round the legs. Tackle made 10 away. Quick play of the ball. Back they come, centre here now is Helliwell, drives it forward. He's going to be tackled. Jones waits, side of the post, moves it now to Wildy, gets it away to Ford. Ford offers the dummy, and the tackle made is a strong one. Featherstone are within striking distance as Jones gets it away. Wildy short to Springer. Springer tackled a couple of metres out. Will play the ball now. Still a couple of tackles left. They're going right. They fizz the pass to Smith. He goes to Leilua. Leilua going for the line! Joey Leilua powers his way in, and look at the reaction. 13th of the season. He looks pumped for this one, and Featherstone hits straight back. It's Rovers 4, Centurions 6.
Well, we mentioned earlier, when you see Joey Leilua chasing kicks and being aggressive, it's always a good sign for your team. He took the ball from a scrum and he looked a real handful, and then he gets up against his opposite number, Nene McDonald, possibly the best centre in the league today in this year's championship, and he just fends him off, gets rid of Josh Charnley, but still has a lot to do. We see he skips out, fends Josh Charnley off as well and gets the ball down. That's a great contribution from Joey Leilua, brought over here to do things like that and put his team in a great position.
He's an X-factor player, isn't he? He's an X-factor player, and you want to see big players on big stages come up with big players, and that's what he's done there. He's got his team right back in this game, and Big Mac will be happy with that one.
He will. Alan Cuthbertson just making some notes in the book. Here's Craig Hall. Then Nakubawai has gone off, and Ross down at pitch side reporting that Nakubawai is hobbling quite badly at the moment. Here's Hall to level it up from the sideline. Just pulls it across the face, but they're back within 2, and they've done what they needed to do, Leon. They've gone down the other end and come up with points at the first time of asking.
Absolutely, Mark. And these are the players that we all come to watch. We pay to watch. Even had paid to watch Leilua. Look at him on the outside, left-hand fend, over the line. Too big, too strong. He's fired up for this game, the big man.
You love to see it.
What a battle that's going to be. Nene McDonald and Joey Leilua all night.
Like Leon says, it will all come down to one game, and it might be one play that decides the destiny of one of these two clubs, and he could be the man that produces it. Here's Junior Moores, who carry off the back fence. So Kai O'Donnell is on for Nakubawai. We'll keep you updated with that as Springer is hit hard. Wardle it was. Plays the ball now. Jones, were they square there? They were, according to the referee. Working its way in field. And Featherstone have responded nicely to going behind. They still trail by 2, but they're right in it with 13 on the clock. We'll save you the best till last on the opening day of the Bash here on Premier Sports. 3 more crackers to come tomorrow, including the Cumbrian Derby that could go a long way to securing the destiny of Whitehaven in the championship if they can get a victory. Ball across to Ford, it's kicked downfield, this needs to bounce. Oh, what a kick that is, on the fly, about 2 metres away from the corner flag.
And that's what they need, a little bit of difference. John O'Ford there just skips around the kick pressure from Sidlow, finds a pass, and we know how talented Craig Hall is. comes up with a kick, not just a kick, but a perfect kick that gives his team so much good territory. And starting a defensive set in the worst possible place now for Lee, in their own 10.
Tell you what, Leon, you give any good halfback the ball in that position and totally kick it that close to the corner flag, they'd struggle, wouldn't they?
Yeah, the really struggle. It's a great kick. Look at the games, all the games we watched today. This has a special feel about it. The intensity, the athletes on show. They're really up for this. Both sets of players. Great to watch.
There's McDonald trying to return serve with a good carry forward. Well, Jones is asking if he was tackled. I think he was. Here now is Ferguson. He has signed a new long-term deal and he's sold onto that ball. Just about has done, I think. Just. The ball now up towards halfway. Springer goes hunting. This is on the edge, isn't it, this one? This is the intensity of a playoff game. Asiata offloads to Mellor. Mellor's got not really anywhere to go. Last one. They're up to the 40 though, Lee, here. They'll go to Ben Reynolds. Reynolds is going to stand up the kick towards the far side. Gale underneath it will catch it. And Gale will bring it forward, gets the bumpers up, and he needs them as well. Every tackle at the moment, Kevin, is like it is like a huge collision.
Yeah, and it's clearly taken its toll on Lee Centurions, because Kai O'Donnell's entered the frame after 15 minutes with a couple of stoppages. I don't know whether Big Ben's injured or he's just tired.
Well, we heard earlier he's got an ankle problem, we understand, so we'll keep an eye on that one, but it's that type of night, isn't it? Good carry there. Forward. And a kick over the top. Aikens will deal with that pretty comfortably, though. Connor Jones can't make the tackle. Moores will. And they'll start just short of the 40. So Lee with a 2-point advantage and will be over the halfway line, you feel, on the next play. It's been a blockbusting opening 16 minutes here tonight.
Shot, Castle
goes in. All centre field with Asiata. What a signing he's been. He has been a key recruit. So now Sidlow goes in. Sidlow tries to wrestle his way with his front to play it quickly. Last 120 out. Mellor has it. Going to put the high kick up. Pressure on Broadbent. Oh, he was hitting the air, wasn't he? Which play on. Ball's on the ground and knocked on by Lee. Well, that was a big chance. I thought, was it a genuine competition in the air? If it was, Broadbent got knocked over. But Lee, if they pick it up, Leon, they would have scored.
Yeah, I think it was Tom Lynham who escorted him, so it was going to be a penalty to Lee, in my opinion, in the first place. If you watch Tom Lynham, he escorts and bumps somebody off the ball, who collides with the fullback going for the ball. Can't really see it from there. It was Tom Lynham who escorted. It was play on for here for Lee. All he had to do is pick up the ball. All he had to do was dive over the line. If you watch, Tom Lynham escorts, bumps somebody into the fullback. That's play on for me.
Yeah, with Aikens. And so we come back for the Broadbent knock on. And now a chance from a scrum play. They've loaded numbers left here, Lee. They're going to hold it in the scrum. This time Featherstone stay offside. Reynolds is going to carry it 5 metres away when he's tackled. McDonald in at dummy half, fancies a run himself, trying to work his way over the line. Desperate to add to his tally of tries. 22 of them. Now they are trying to pitch one and they're stopped again. Smith denied on the line. McDonald has another go. But Smith claps the ball. Good defence from Featherstone, but they've got a couple more questions to answer before they escape this little predicament.
Yeah, probably a bit much that, taking 3 drives there. Bit of a waste when they've got such good attacking quality out wide.
Well, there they are now, and they've created an overlap here. If the ball goes through hands, Chamberlain gets it away. Here's Ferguson, little chip over the top. Ford stands his ground. Broadbent did really well there. He had no room to work in. And in the end, Featherstone survive right on their own line. But this set is going to be a crucial one as Lynham takes the first carry. Is this where you tie your shoelaces, Kev?
Yeah, this is where it's great being an halfback. You're telling people what to do rather than doing it yourself.
Big moments here. 18 gone on the clock. Live at Headingley from the bash, and they're burning the tackles up here. Featherstone, they need an out, and at the moment they're not getting one. Springer is upended in the tackle. O'Donnell, another good recruit that Chris Chester and Lee have made, is now the kick downfield. Aikens will sprint across, catches it on the 30, gives it to Charnley. Charnley will bring it forward. He's over the 40 when he's tackled. What do we make of the outcome of that one then, Leon?
Yeah, I think that's a massive reward for Lee's effort in defence, intensity, line speed. Restricted them to 30 metres, and now they get the ball on the halfway line. Fantastic work from Lee.
Yeah, they do indeed. Ball now going down the...
Oh, he's hit him high, Tyler Eppie.
Well, Eppie, who's on off the bench, has made contact there, but to be fair to Stone, he gets up and gets on with it. Offload finds McDonald. So Eppie on for Junior Moores, who's made way. And the ball now going down the short side. Aikins again to McDonald. Oh, he's offloaded it, but it's on the ground, and I think that'll be a knock-on. And you have to say Featherstone have done well there.
Yeah, I think the introduction of Tyler Eppie, he plays right on the edge. Similar to George Flanagan, he's just come off the bench. He's run into 3 tackles there, made an impact, fired the team up, kind of forced an error. And yeah, it's great reward there, Featherstone. He'll get the ball in a scrum down.
I think Nene McDonald carried the ball 5 times in 2 sets there. He's so busy. And the quality he's got normally comes off on that occasion. He's probably tried overplaying. I think he's trying too hard at the minute.
We've said that before, haven't we, as well, Kev? He sometimes needs to just be patient, wait for the ball to come to him sometimes, don't overplay.
Well, he's had a shot across the bows, hasn't he, from Joey Leilua, who scored. Ball's on the ground, Lee have got it back. Huge error from Featherstone. Disaster. And Lee now will come flooding forward. Sidlow leads the charge. Inside the 10 they go. And Featherstone cannot afford errors inside their own half of the field, let alone in their own 20. Ball to Mella now. Big step. Trying to get through the tackle. But it's made. Eppie involved again. Ball swings centre field. Asiata gets it away to Reynolds. They miss him first time, but they've closed his space down. And Featherstone at the moment doing okay. 10 out. Smith waits at dummy half, gets it away to O'Donnell. O'Donnell pumps the legs, a metre out from the line, trying to wrestle his way over, and in the end, just about held up. Desperate stuff from Featherstone Rovers.
Yeah, watch out for Sidlow near this line. He's so dangerous. You know, he hits, he spins, and he turns out of tackles and scores.
Ball now with Smith, gets it away to Mella. Mella to Ferguson. Ferguson's gone straight through! A shake of the hips! And Ferguson celebrates a new contract with another try, his 12th of the season in just 10 games for the Centurions. That was too easy. Featherstone punished for errors in their own half. And it's Leo lead by 10 points to 4.
And we talk about players that we come to pay to watch. Blake Ferguson's one of those. X-Factor, State of Origin, Australia, International. NRL legend comes over and it's the play, it's the corners play. Double drop off, Mella goes across the line, but the right foot steps straight through the gap. He's still got the speed, the awareness. He's played at a high level for so long. Double drop off, corners around the back. He's still got a lot of work to do. Goes through the gap. Fantastic try, Kev.
Such a big man. And when he did change his angle, he came off his right foot. He just didn't slow down. He looked like he was speeding up. A lot of the time, that's what sets him apart from the normal player. You know, the agility for such a big bloke, a big strong man. He's great at the other end of the field carrying the ball, but that was such a good finish.
Ferguson over. Reynolds will look to add the extras, but the error bringing the ball out of their own end of the field has cost Featherstone 6 points, you would feel. Reynolds stood in front of the post, should make no mistake.
Let's not forget Blake Ferguson last year or year before was like one of the best players in the RL, with the best when he played State of Origin 2 years ago. That just gives a reminder they're unbelievable. Love that.
Reynolds adds the extras, 12-4.
And the error was unforced. They forced it themselves, didn't they? It was Tom Lanham, he just bailed out the back, threw the ball. You know, it wasn't really on the pace here. We see it again, he just comes off his right foot, speeds up. No one can get with him.
Well, he's done Eppie, hasn't he, with a step. And you give him half a yard from that close in, you're not stopping him. Ferguson. Well, eyebrows were raised when he was signed. He's had a controversial year or so, on and off the field, but he's here. And he is box office. Give him the ball and he does the business. Simple as that. You wonder if he will be gracing the Super League in 2023. Lee, top of the pile at the moment. And Featherstone have been pushed to the limit here tonight. And they trail by 12 points to 4. Smith gets puts it away. I think it's fair to say, fellas, and you know the viewers at home, they know their rugby as well. This has been several levels up from what we've seen this afternoon.
Yeah, this looks like a Super League game and a top Super League game. The intensity from both sides, the way they're hitting, the speed, you know, and then the punishing nature if there is an error. Both teams have punished each other, so no, fantastic start to this game.
Oh, Donald wanting to slip the pass, but he spins out of the tackle. They just let go of him there. Last one 30 away. Smith gets it away to Mellor's going to run it here, the shorter room, and they get the ball away. Ferguson again, ball back on the inside. Back-to-back Centurions tries. Caleb Aikens over for his 15th of the season. Featherstone switch off. The Centurions make them pay. 16-4 the Centurions lead.
Yeah, it was a short side play. Joe Mellor summed it up great. He found the ball to Sam Stone, who just, you know, he was just too physical. He gets his hands free. The ball comes to the man that we're speaking about, Blake Ferguson, and he didn't panic. He just summed it up beautifully. We see it again now. Sam Stone just too strong, carries the tackle. Ferguson just waits for his friend, teammate Caleb Aikens, who scores the try. But that's great vision by Joe Mellor, just spotting they've only got two down the short side, and that's why they are such a good side, Lee. You know, when you do give them an opportunity, they don't just score once, they back it up and they come again and score twice.
Caleb Aikens had never scored a try until he arrived in England. He can't stop scoring, and now they're in support on the inside. Ferguson made it look easy, and just there in that build-up, Leon, we mentioned it a couple of times, Featherstone falling off one or two tackles.
It starting to look fatigued. I think Tom Lyman there could have done a little bit better. He came up with nothing, looking in, looking out, you know, and Blake Ferguson there as well. Usually see wingers that get through in the clear. Sometimes if they've got to pass, they can panic and the skill level could be quite poor, but they stayed calm, like you said in commentary. Pops on the inside, great finish, but made something that some wingers could make look hard, look very easy.
Yeah. The good players always seem to have an extra second, don't they, just to sum things up and make the right call. Here's Reynolds from out wide, looking for a third successive conversion. Here he goes, swings it towards the post. Ben Reynolds, 3 from 3. A blistering spell, 2 tries in 3 minutes for the Leeds Centurions. They lead by 18 points to 4.
Yeah, it's just good vision from Mellor, a great offload, Ferguson in support, ball back on the inside, 2 on 1, and that's an easy finish. You won't get a much easier try than that to score all night.
And it's crucial now that they don't back it up again, Featherstone. I think, you know, I just looked to my left, and it's probably the most animated I've seen Brian McDermott, you know, shouting at that radio, and it's a period now where they need to score next, or they'll go into that frenzy that we've seen over and over again.
Well, we've talked about it a few times on Premier Sports over the last few weeks when we've seen very good performances from Batley and from Halifax about the ability to raise the level that will be needed in the playoffs, and this is the level that may well win the playoffs from Leeds Centurions. If they can perform like this on the night, then they are going to be pretty hard to stop. It's as simple as that.
It's on in the background.
There's a
Tyler
bit of fisticuffs over on the far side, and not for the first time today. Temperatures just boiling over. Ben Helliwell was involved momentarily there, and they're still having a push and a shove. And maybe there are a few markers that need putting down. Lay Lewis in there, look at him giving the eyes. They ain't backing off though, are they? Wardle's in there going nose to nose with him. They're saying, if you want to have a go, let's get it on.
He's braver than me, Wardle. I'll be out of the way of the big man, but yeah, it's all on, and this is what we like to see. Fire up. Emotion, Leilua, he's in there. Epi, as we talked about, he's in there as usual. He comes on to throw it about, get his boys fired up. Let's see what happens here from the referee.
12 to go to the break. Liam Moore just giving himself a bit of thinking time here. We saw some cards earlier on in the Bradford-Halifax game. Well, there could be cards coming here for sure. Wow. Punch Punches thrown, red cards coming. Nene McDonald about to go. Tyler Hepe about to go. Here come the card, not the yellow one, it's the red one. So Nene McDonald throwing punches is gone. They know the rules. You cannot raise your fists anymore in a rugby league field, and Nene McDonald, it's a blot on his copybook, so he's gone. He looks round to see who's going, and Tyler Hepe knows what's coming here. There's no second class stamp on this one, Tyler, you're off, son. 12 against 12.
Penalties are fair, yeah? Yes. Captains, please, boys.
And now the captains are called in. Punches thrown, cards shown.
Both been around a long time, okay? The rules on striking are pretty clear, okay? If you punch to the head, that's a red card. Let's do it. McDonald is the first offence, followed by Tyler Hepe, okay? Now let me make the message clear. You're the captains, you control your players. If you don't want to control your players, I'm quite happy to get rid of all. Am I clear with that?
Great refereeing there for me from Liam Moore. Tyler Hepe's just walked down the tunnel and realised he's in the dressing rooms on the other side of the ground. He's got to walk around the field now. He's going to get dogs abuse, isn't he?
He's lucky he's walking that end by his own fans and not the Leigh fans.
Well, he is. But it was punches thrown, attack to the head. See if we can see on this angle. Oh, McDonald, well, Leon, you cannot defend that, I'm afraid. He's got to go.
No, he's got to go, yeah. He's not going to get away with that one. It's a lack of discipline for McDonald. We didn't see what Hepe did, but you just can't do that, McDonald.
No, you can't. As Featherstone now look to attack, so 12 against 12. Sam Eze into the action. Ball coming forward here with Ford. Well, it might not be the only cards we see tonight. And Featherstone coming down the short side with Ford, looking to hit back on the scoreboard. They trail 18 points to 4. And they're on the try line now. Here's Hall, big step from him. 9 away. Tyler Hepe still hasn't got to the dressing room. He's just walking past the post now. Here now goes Wildy. Wildy was overrun. This is the last one. And it at least a repeat set here, Featherstone, you'd imagine. Smith gets it wide. Here's Leilua, gets it away!
He's dropped the ball, he's dropped it! He's dropped the ball!
Gale has dropped it diving over the line! And a gilt-edged Featherstone opportunity has just been thrown in the bin.
And I think that shows you the sending off is definitely going to affect Leigh more than Featherstone. I think Leilua now has a free rein on that edge. I think it's Joe Wardle who's gone a bit wider, but he's a back rower by trade, so he's up against one of the very best centres in the competition. I'm sure they'll be back there. It's disappointing that Gale dropped the ball, but they'll definitely be back there for more.
They will indeed. But that was maybe a sign of the road to success for Featherstone Rovers, but crucially they dropped the ball. And Ali about to punish them down the other end. Here's Edwin Ipape. He's into the action. That was a scruffy play of the ball, and the referee's penalised Ipape here and said that will be a turnover. So Featherstone breathe a sigh of relief, but this was a chance at the other end for Gale. Oh, was it knocked out or did he drop it?
It's Wardle. Joe Wardle that comes up with a massive play, gets his hands to the ball just. It's a fantastic play. Superb effort.
Credit where credit is due. That was magnificent defence. 18 points to 4. 9 to go to the break. 2 sent off for fighting. Featherstone will want the next points here. Eze brings it forward. He's tackled. 30 out from the line. Gonna run it here. And well, it's going to be wrapped up. 40 away against his former club. Looking to come back now, centre field. With Wildy, gets it away to Ford. Ford lining up, nice pass, gets it to Hall. Hall, can he slip the ball away? He does, but he's going over the sideline.
More great defence, Ed Chamberlain. Looked like Craig Hall was just going to get into a bit of space. Blake Ferguson trusted his centre partner, and he did the job there. Chamberlain just forced him over. Great defence.
Will be a handover. Just running out of room. Great work from Chamberlain. He's impressed every time we've seen him, hasn't he? Ed Chamberlain, Leon, he's been good this season.
Yeah, fantastic little player. He'll be looking to take control now. He's really improved this season. Good field position here now for Lee. Probably looking just to make sure they get to the end of the set. Like Kev says, I think losing Nene McDonald will have a far bigger impact on Lee. With no disrespect to Tyler Eppard, but he's a strike player in a strike position.
Well, they've got a 14-point cushion, and they may feel if they can score here, then they may have enough, despite the fact there's still 8 minutes to go to the break. Here now is Mellor. Mellor sidestepping, always looking to take the line on Joe Mellor. He does it again. Pepe explodes out a dummy half. He gets the ball away, but it's on the ground and it's picked up. The referee said that's going to be a knock-on, though, from a Featherstone player.
Yeah, hold up.
So another set here, and crucially another scrum centre field for the Lee Centurions. These are really worrying moments for Brian McDermott's Featherstone Rovers.
I do believe that if Featherstone is to stay in this game, they must defend this set, they must defend the try line. I don't think they can afford to concede another try.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Leah set up to go left. 4 on 3.
4 on 3. Make that 5 on 3. Here now is Reynolds. Gets it away to Akins. Akins takes on the line. He's tackled. And they're in striking distance again, the Centurions. Reynolds to Asiata. Ball carried forward by O'Donnell. Gets up. Oh, he tried to play it quickly, but he held on to it. He did well there. Here now the ball wide. They've got numbers if they can get the ball over the top. Stone wanted it, but Reynolds couldn't supply. 5 away. They go short. Sidlow offloads it. Pape going for the line. Crashes over. Edwin Pape is in. Much to the delight of the faithful there from Lee. Look at them. They love it. They love Edwin Pape. And it's a crucial try. 22 points to 4. Is that the game breaker?
And it's the danger man, Sidlow near the line. Just finds a pass again. You know, Joe Mellor's got the open side and Sidlow just hits spins. And Pape only knows one way, and that's forward. Gets the try, and you know that's so crucial at this stage of the game. Featherstone were just feeling like they were getting back in the game. But Pape, since he's come on, he's had 4 carries. 2 of the times he's got his nose through, and 2 of the times he's let the ball down and he's spilt the ball. But everything he does with energy and effort, and it's dangerous. And he scores the try that puts a dagger in the heart of the coach there, Brian McDermott, and his team, Featherstone.
They'll be disappointed. They had a chance at the other end, but a couple of minutes later they're punished down at the other. 5.5 to go to the break. Ben Reynolds looking to make it 4 from 4 right in front of the posts. And Edwin Pape, not for the first time, and I doubt it'll be the last time this season, has got the Lee faithful firmly on their feet in full voice. Kick to come here for 24 points to 4. And it might be 12 against 12. But at the moment, that is having not one impact on Lee Centurions. They're in danger of running away with this one.
Yeah, half time, 24 points to 4. You know, it's probably the biggest one-sided contest we've seen all day at half time, and there has been glimpses. I just think if Gareth Gale can score that try, God, the context of the game's completely different, but he didn't. It was great defence, and that man, Edwin Pape, just took his lead even further.
The try. We talk a lot in rugby league about recruitment, but there's no doubting the recruits that they've made, Lee, have been of high quality. The ball went backwards there. That was knocked out by Ford. Is that going to be a knock-on? It's going to be a steal, and he said that Ford knocked it out. And that was my view on that one.
My view too, yeah. I think it was a cheap one. I think they were looking for a momentum changer, but it's against the law. It's quite blatant. You could see it from the pier, so easy call for the referee. Correct call.
Jonathan Ford, just a second start for him. Ball kicked into touch.
What are you looking here, Kev? Do you think we have another shot, Lee, or just take it in before half time?
No, they'll have a full set, so I think they'll play. I think they'll try and put this game to bed and really turn the screw and try and score some more points. I think, they only know that way, Leon. I think, when they're in a grind, it's been very rare that they've not come out of the other side with points.
What a victory would do here tonight for the Lee Centurions. It would put them 5 points clear at the top and would virtually wrap up home advantage going into the playoffs, and ultimately into £1 million game should Lee make it. They would be on home soil at the Lee Sports Village. A win here for Featherstone and to be back in the race, but it looks a long way off, especially if Lee can add to their tally here. 3 to go to the break. Little Grummer kick through, ball bounced up kindly for Broadbent, and in the end he does well to get his hands on it, and Featherstone survive. Can they get down the other end and make inroads into this 20-point deficit? 6 again will help them downfield, and now a penalty. So cheap meters for Featherstone, they need them.
Yeah, and he's trying to tap it quick. They need everything they can to throw into this set. They need points. They don't need field position or territory or anything. They need points going into half time. At 24 points to 10, there's still a chance.
12 against 12. McDonald and Hepe sent off for fighting. A bit of bash at the bash, but the bash was met with a red card. Slane Lua, who's scored one and created another one, Gale just couldn't finish it off. Featherstone have got just under 2 minutes left in this first half. Eze carries it forward, strong carry, good offload, bit of second phase play, and Jones now is through. Has he got the pace to get there? What a cut, what a score from Connor Jones! A burst of pace on the back of the Eze offload, and Featherstone had to score next. They have scored next. Featherstone 8, Lee 24.
And we've got 2 of the quickest, most dynamic number 9s on the field. So Edwin Ipape, whatever you can do, I can do better. Connor Jones, he just gets the ball, pins his ears back, goes straight through the gap and then goes round the fullback. It's a great offload from Esse, and then from here he just puts the ball in 2 hands and goes round Ipape, round Aikens, and that's exactly what they needed going into half time. It gives them that glimmer of hope, that little bit of confidence that they can come out and really go after this game in the second half.
It totally changes Brian McDermott's half-time speech. I think you're going there with your heads held high, bouncing a little bit, believing that you can do this, compared to 24-4. Vital kick this as well.
It is a big kick. We're in a elsewhere in the Super League. Catalans had a big lead against Leeds. Leeds come back, took it to Golden Point and won 36-32, despite having a player sent off. Matt Price sent off in the second half there. Here though, they're fighting to get in the Super League, and here's Craig Hall with a kick. And he sends it straight through the middle. Well, those penalties, crucial right on half-time, have given Featherstone Rovers a bit of a lifeline. It was all about the Eze offload though.
Yeah, give them a lifeline. It gives them confidence that they can break this team down. The last 2 times they've been down there, Gareth Gale should have scored, Connor Jones scored, so Lee have been dominant and they're going deservedly 24 points to 10 winner, leader at the half-time. But it's not over this game.
No, it's not. Brian McDermott will make his way down to the dressing rooms here at Headingley. The Lee team just having a bit of a conflab on the pitch. They just want to get things in hand. Edwin Ipape's try looked to have given Lee a huge lead at the break, but Connor Jones' try right on half-time has narrowed the gap. All the reaction to the first half that saw some great tries and a couple of red cards. It'll come next on Premier Sport, but at the break, Featherstone 10, Lee 24.
It's for her. It's for him. It's for them. If you aren't around. Life insurance from Legal & General starts from just £5 a month and could support your loved ones financially. If the worst happens to you, you'll also receive a £100 gift card after you take out cover. Life insurance. It's for them. Get your quote today.
We love clever tech at Currys, like the Dyson V15 Detect Cordless Vacuum. It's got everything you'd expect from a Dyson. Powerful cleaning, no loss of suction, multi-stage filtration. But it also has an illuminated cleaner head to reveal invisible dust. And a piezo sensor that counts and measures dust particles, displaying real-time proof of a deep clean. And it automatically adjusts suction power. It's the most powerful, intelligent Dyson Cordless Vacuum yet. And if you buy now, you can pay nothing for up to 12 months at Currys. The Dyson OmniGlide, now at Currys. Designed for the hard floors in your home, it effortlessly maneuvers around obstacles into tight spots and even lays flat with no loss of suction. With fluffy motorized rollers and an amazing omnidirectional head that twists, turns and swivels, it removes fine particles to help keep even those awkward spots pristine. It transforms to a handheld for speedy spot cleans too. And if you buy now, you can pay nothing for up to 12 months. At Currys.
Ocado's got 460ml tubs of Haagen-Dazs, now £3 each. And with £20 off your first shop, there's an Ocado just for you. Ocado's got Doritos 180g sharing packs, now £1.25. And with £20 off your first shop, there's an Ocado just for you. Ocado's got 460ml tubs of Haagen-Dazs, now £3 each. And with £20 off your first shop, there's an Ocado just for you. Ocado's got 3 for £10 on your barbecue favourites. And with £20 off your first shop, there's an Ocado just for you.
The Dyson OmniGlide, now at Currys. Designed for the hard floors in your home, it effortlessly maneuvers around obstacles into tight spots and even lays flat with no loss of suction. With fluffy motorized rollers and an amazing omnidirectional head that twists, turns and swivels, it removes fine particles to help keep even those awkward spots pristine. It transforms to a handheld for speedy spot cleans too. And if you buy now, you can pay nothing for up to 12 months. At Currys.
It's half-time here at Headingley for the Summer Bash, and what a final game of the day this is proving to be. It's half-time here. Hendo and Kev have come to join me pitch side. Phenomenal first half, boys. I don't want to mess around. I want to get stuck straight into it. Let's have a look at that John Asiata try. And you were singing his praises during this one, Kev.
Oh, yeah, I think the combination of Asiata and Sidlow, you know, when you've got so many big men who can ball play, you know, he's involved there, he plays short. And it's Joe Wardley who goes very close, but then off the back of this he just reloads, and look at the work he's doing behind. You know, he's getting Sidlow to run for him, he spins, turns, and it's great execution, and it just looks like it's made up, but you know, the contribution from Sidlow can't be undersold, but the organisation from a front rower, he's not an half-back, that's a top-line half-back contribution, how he's organised the play and finished the play.
Absolutely. I mean, that's definitely been practiced on the training field, that one. They've obviously looked at that inside the 20. This is a play we can execute, and boy, did they execute that to perfection. What a fantastic, well-worked move. Great
It really
try.
was. But Fev got themselves back into the game shortly after, didn't they, through Joey Leilua. Let's have a look at that one.
Yeah, well, this one, again, just shows the quality of Leilua. You get the ball in hand, he does a great job to get past Nene McDonald, but again, it's the width of pass, early ball to Leilua. He just, bit of a shimmy there, skips on the outside of McDonald, fends him off with the left arm fend, and just has enough power to get over. And this is, like you said, the quality of Leilua, what he can do in big games. And So they need him firing because he's hard to stop and hard to handle close to the try line.
And he just did all the effort areas really well, and we know he's got the pace, the power.
Happy, didn't we?
Yeah, and this was a crucial part of the game because we spoke about Nenny McDonald, how influential he is. I think there's a little bit of a stand on his hand that he takes offence to, and then off the back of this, we see him carrying the ball here now, and he gets a stamp on his hand, whether that's intentional or not. He takes exception to it, and then they start throwing punches, and like the referee Liam Moore said, you cannot throw a punch in rugby league without being sent off.
You can't. And I actually, to be honest, when this happened, I thought it would impact Lee a little bit more than Featherstone. Losing their left edge centre there. Obviously Heppy's a middle unit. You can tend to find if you lose a middle, you can kind of cope, can't you? You just obviously one sort of inside option down when you're playing your shape. But losing your left centre would have put a bit more pressure on Lee. But it didn't stop them, did it, Emma?
Because lo and behold, your favourite man, boys, Pappy, came back with a vengeance.
Here he is.
and he's just like he's a ball of energy wherever he. And it's Sidlow again. We can't underplay that. He takes contact, and it's post line contact. So he hits, he rolls, and he breaks the defensive line up. And Pape only knows one way, and that's forward. He's such a strong, dynamic player. We came on and straight away he made a run.
Bit disheartening for Fev because it felt for them like they were just getting themselves back into the game at that point, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. But then we see this fantastic finish from Connor Jones just before the half-time break, which was very much needed for the Featherstone Rovers to try and salvage something before half-time and keep them in the contest. But it's a fantastic offload there. I think it was SA that provided the offload. We've seen him coming into the fore in the championship with Barrow earlier, now with Featherstone, but that was a fantastic offload from him and a great turn of pace from Connor Jones.
If there is one area that they might be able to get, Lee, it's second phase.
Yeah.
They get second phase, they break that line up, then they can go for it. Going out wide against some of these international quality
they're too well organised.
They're very well organised, very athletic. Yeah. Go through the middle, offload, and you'll get your rewards.
Just very, very quickly, because I want to go to a break because the second half is on the way, but can you see Fev coming back from this very quickly?
They need to start very, very quick.
Right, thank you very much. That was very concise, Kev Brad. Thank you. Don't go anywhere. Second half is on the way next.
The Dyson OmniGlide, now at Curry's. Designed for the hard floors in your home, it effortlessly maneuvers around obstacles into tight spots and even lays flat with no loss of suction. With fluffy motorized rollers and an amazing omnidirectional head that twists, turns and swivels, it removes fine particles to help keep even those awkward spots pristine. It transforms to a handheld for speedy spot cleans too. And if you buy now, you can pay nothing for up to 12 months. At Curry's.
Ocado's got Doritos, 180 gram sharing packs, now £1.25. And with £20 off your first shop, there's an Ocado just for you. Ocado's got 460ml tubs of Haagen-Dazs, now £3 each. And with £20 off your first shop, there's an Ocado just for you. Ocado's got 460ml tubs of Haagen-Dazs, now £3 each. And with £20 off your first shop, there's an Ocado just for you. Ocado's got 3 for £10 on your barbecue favourites. And with £20 off your first shop, there's an Ocado just for you.
The Dyson OmniGlide, now at Curry's. Designed for the hard floors in your home, it effortlessly maneuvers around obstacles into tight spots and even lays flat with no loss of suction. With fluffy motorized rollers and an amazing omnidirectional head that twists, turns and swivels, it removes fine particles to help keep even those awkward spots pristine. It transforms to a handheld for speedy spot cleans too. And if you buy now, you can pay nothing for up to 12 months. At Curry's.
been a brilliant first half here at Headingley for this top of the table clash. And here to guide you through this second half, your commentary team of Kev Brown, Leon Price and Mark Wilson.
Cheers, Emma. The final stretch of what's been a marathon of rugby league is upon us this afternoon and this evening. Adrian Lamb, well, not quite enjoying the light show, but he can't be too far away from it. 24 points to 10 his side lead. Featherstone need a little bit more in this second half, but that try from Connor Jones right on the buzzer has kept them within touching distance if they can kick on in this second half. Both sides down to 12 for the second half. The fans enjoying their rugby league here at Headingley. It has been a really good atmosphere. The Leigh fans are making plenty of noise. The Fev fans there look a bit quiet, but those guys are enjoying their trip to West Yorkshire and they're hoping to see more Leigh tries in the second half. What do you think Brian McDermott would have said at the break, fellas?
I think he'll be disappointed with some of the tries they've conceded near the goal line. I think he'll say stiffen that up and we need to score next. If they do score next, we've got game on.
I think he will give Tom Lyon a bit of a spray, trying to offload the ball, you know, from a scrum one-on-one in their own 20-metre line. So unforced, silly errors, and try and cut them out.
Here is Edwin Apape, takes it forward. Looking forward to the games tomorrow already, but this one, what a way to sign off the day. And if Leigh score next, they'll feel they've got enough, but if Featherstone score next, we could be in for a blockbuster of a second half here at Headingley. Stone is tackled. Apape, keen to work, gets the ball away, neat hands, over the halfway line they come. Couple of tackles left in the set, bodies on the ground. Apape looking for room, lost it though. Regathers his own knock on. So Apape even playing too quick for himself there.
Yeah, it was a great shot. It was so quick around the ruck. It was Kai O'Donnell again who just got that ruck speed. It's Connor Jones, his opposite, who just hits him below the ball. Fantastic tackle to make him turn over possession. They get an opportunity now to put some pressure on themselves, Featherstone.
McDermott just observing something on the screen there. Adrian Lamb would have been happy, Leon, with a 14-point advantage, but maybe a little bit disappointed it wasn't more.
Yeah, I think in general he'll be happy though. I thought they played some nice stuff. They looked definitely the most dominant attacking football team out there. But probably could have converted a couple more tries, but it's another game. They're out there now, the second half, trying to be dominant.
I know the playoffs are 6 or 7 weeks away, but this type of game really whets the appetite, doesn't it? We'll find out tomorrow if Widnes can continue their charge under John Keir as they take on Barrow in our opener.
It's a problem for Ben Reynolds, Mark. Broke his hand or finger.
Oh, he has, and the referee stopped play here. As it's another error from Featherstone. They're frustrated by that. Reynolds is going to carry on, but an error on halfway is not what Featherstone Rovers needed at the start of the second half.
No, it's not, especially early in the tackle count when they could have took some juice out of the legs of Leigh Centurions. You need to score quite early because it won't be long before Lachlan Lamb comes in and a fresh Lachlan Lamb. You know, I thought it might have been them for Ben Reynolds, but he will come on at some stage and cause problems.
Will indeed. Ball now goes from the scrum. Charlie has been quiet tonight, but still early days for him with the Centurions. He's got 2 tries in his 3 games so far. Prolific try scorer at the highest level. Now the ball working its way forward. Apape has it. Gets it away. Here's Asiata. Asiata puts the ball away. Run again. Tackle made. Apape moves it to Mellor. Mellor in motion. Mellor trying to get the ball away, but Helliwell's all over him, but he offloads it to Apape out of a 3-man tackle. Great work from the halfback. Apape tackled. They're right on the line again. Couple of tackles left. They've got all the ammunition to the left-hand side, and that's where they're going now. Mellor, though, will take the line on again, looking to attract defenders, and it does attract defenders. Last one.
Problem.
He's got up. Apape will get it away. Here's Asiata, little chip kick through, picked up by Asiata, gets it away. Here's Apape trying to bulldoze his way over, dumps it out the back, checks for Charlie, doesn't get it down. doesn't get it down, and just as Lee thought they'd opened up Featherstone, the scrambling defence keeps them alive.
Yeah, it's a great effort there. Charnley's known for his finishing in Super League. It was a great scramble there from Gareth Gale. We thought he'd blown the chance over the right hand side early in the first half, but it was a great defensive play from Wardle. That time it was him making the effort in defence.
And Reynolds gets some running repairs, and he'll be desperate not to come off. Don't
give him an excuse, Ben. Don't give him an excuse.
No. It's alright, I've got more fingers. Just take them up, they'll be alright. Here come Featherstone then. We've had 4 minutes second half. Leilua drives it forward. Here now is Moores, gets it away. Good defence from Chamberlain again, not the first time we've said that. Tackle is made. Oh, ball's on the ground here, and it's a knock on. Helliwell's lost it. They cannot keep making mistakes like this.
You can see how much it means to the Leeds Centurions. To a man, they've all run in and patted Ed Chamberlain on the back for the defensive effort he's done. They know how important the start of this second half is. I think it's almost a shootout. Whoever scores first, wins this game. I think if it's Lee, that's definitely the case. And Featherstone have a massive chance. So they need to be resilient and not let the floodgates open on this occasion.
Scrum play, centre field, Mellor, Reynolds, Wardle. He's tackled 15 away. Reynolds waits at dummy half, will pop up the pass. Asiata gets it away to O'Donnell. O'Donnell working hard again, and Pape waits. Moves it wide to Mellor. Mellor gets it away. Aikins has dropped it this time. And that'll be disappointing. Oh, penalty offside though against Featherstone.
I was about to say, Mark, it's been a really scrappy start to the second half. Both teams coming up with numerous errors. But Lee have got away with that one cheaply, really. Offside from Featherstone. Clear the balls. Tom Lynham, I think, no. It's Ford who's being offside. Ford who's offside.
And the annoyance is he was nowhere near the ball, was he? Here another set of 6. Here goes Asiata. His try got the lead. Bandwagon rolling at Headingley this afternoon. What a player he is. Here's a Pape now going for a second try. This time they're all over him. Helliwell turns him away. But more tackles to withstand here for Featherstone. Asiata fires the pass to Reynolds. Reynolds cuts off the left foot step, goes towards the post. He's tackled. And Pape now fires it wide. They rush out, they miss the tackle. Trouble here! And Aikins nicks a try off Charnley. I think the pass was going for Charnley. Aikins says, hang on, I'm having some of that. And he's over again. And Lee score first in the second half. They lead by 28 points to 10.
And that's Joey Mellor's just that. His vision, he's moved before he's caught the ball. He sees Joey Leilua in his eye line. It's the ball from dummy half, and he just lets that float across his chest, as we see here. Pape, he just whips it out, and he just moves away from Joey Leilua, and then fires the pass. And the cheeky monkey, he takes it off Josh Charnley, his wing, who wants to score as many tries as he can.
I hope Charnley's not on the try bonus. He won't be happy with that, will he?
I'll be spewing with that. I know Ken mentioned it there, but the service from dummy half made it look easy, but that pass for me creates a try. Great movement from Joey Mellor off the ball without catching it, moves without catching it, but the service there is on the money. 10 out of 10 pass.
One of the best to ever do it, Andrew Johns, or the best to ever do it. He used to catch the ball and he'd come inside or drift outside, so you couldn't put him under pressure, and that's what Joey Mellor's so good at as well. Just drifted there, made him look foolish.
He did indeed. Reynolds looking to add the... This is a big kick because it takes it out to a 4-score lead. He's right on the touchline side. He's kicking towards the flat cappers. Away on that western terrace. They'll be pleased the rain has eased off. They won't be pleased with the result as it stands at the moment. And Reynolds looking here to keep his 100% kicking record going. From the sideline. Here he is. Sends it low. It's fading back. He's hit the post. Couldn't have been any closer. 28 points to 10. Caleb Aikins second of the match. And he's picked the pocket of his teammate to score it. Just imagine the reaction if he'd have dropped it. Brian McDermott wishes he had dropped it, but he didn't. Pape catches it, offloads it, and brings it forward as an error. Sidlow's dropped that.
Ferris.
He's dropped that. There was a big collision centre field, and now it's Featherstone who is slapping the backs, and Sidlow not happy with himself.
They needed that. Straight away, Featherstone can come up with a scrum play here to get straight back in this game. 9 minutes gone so far in the second half. They need to respond quickly.
Here now, a chance for Featherstone Rovers. If they can hit back here, and they're right back where they were at half time as they take it 12 metres away. Broadbent is tackled. Jones to Eze. Eze offloads again, gets it away to Moores. Moores now going for the line. Oh, he wanted to flick it out. There was no one to pass it to. He did well to hang on in the end there. Plays it quickly. Here goes Eze. He's over the line. He's scored. Sam Eze crashes his way over. What a run from the young fella. Barges his way in. Well, his offloads have been good. And look at the reaction. He enjoyed that, Sam Eze. It was easy for Eze.
Well, that's how to do it. Just run on 100 miles an hour. He created the damage initially with the offload to Junior Moores. He created the damage in the first half with the offload to Connor Jones for the try. And then he just does it himself. Route one. Look at this. I'm going to run 100 miles an hour. He gets the ball off Connor Jones. I thought there was a fumble myself, but he gets it down. We can clearly see it's on the line. Great effort from Sam Eze.
He's got, like you say, Kevin, he's come up with 3 massive plays. The impact has been huge. Offloads that have led to tries, breaks. That time, head down, backside up. He just looks so strong, big, strong, powerful, intelligent. There's been a massive impact.
Yes, big future in the game, you feel, for Sam Eze. Here's Craig Hall. This should be a given, and it is. So, despite conceding first in the second half, Featherstone have narrowed the gap 10 into the second half. They're now only 12 behind. And this is a lesson. Run it hard and straight, young fella.
Yeah, they won't give up, Featherstone. That's one thing for sure. They'll keep going, giving the fans something to cheer about. Still 30 minutes left in this game, so there's a lot of things that can happen. We just need, I think the way that he's doing it, he's showing them how it should be done. Junior Moores is a very similar type of player. Brett Ferris is run hard, turn round, get the offload and play off the back of it.
And what you would say, without wanting to jinx him, is he's produced 2 really good offloads, hasn't he, that have allowed his team to go forward. And it's important they don't overplay on that, but if they can get it right, it's a way back in this match.
Yeah, the first thing, you've got to run hard and win the contact. That's the opposite of what Tommy Lynham did before. He was picked up, he drove back. Well, that's a better run, but he's going backwards again. Yeah, that's it, Matt. They've got to go forward first and win that dominant tackle.
Yeah, here's Moores looking to play inside their own 20. They're chancing their arm. Brett Ferris has got nowhere to go. Reynolds is all over him. And now they'll pop the ball up. Here they go with Leilua. Leilua again barges over the top, this time of Asiata, but he's lost it. He's lost it.
That was on. That was on. He had a look and Gareth Gale was there, and then he decided to cut in field. But it was on. He'd done the damage.
Let's have another look at this one, Leilua. Got that try earlier on. Well, he did have a look, didn't he? But his mate, who we thought it was passing to, was stood behind him. There's a problem here in back play for one of the Featherstone players. There you see it's Junior Moores, and they will not want to lose him. We heard Brian McDermott earlier on ruin really the injuries that they've got in their forward pack. You think the likes of Kopchak and Bussey are 2 names instantly that come to mind who would be involved tonight, you feel?
Yeah, well, whenever we've watched Featherstone, Jack Bussey has been the best player. And Junior Moores hasn't been far behind him, so it's a great relief, I'm sure, to Brian McDermott there on screen that he's got up, he's got back in the line, he's ready to go again.
He is, but they've got to defend another error here, 30 off their own line, and it seems every time they've made an error in their own half, Lee have punished them straight away. Still plenty of time left, 28 to go. But Lee looking to give themselves breathing space again. And now, I think we were going to have a penalty, but the referee just said go back. There was a clash there and play the ball a couple of metres away. And now they'll go forward with O'Donnell, who carries it again. And he just drives it in, doesn't he? Does the work, the old fashionable stuff. Here's Asiata, finds Wardle, stays on him, got just enough of him, 12 away. Pape waits. Pape gets it away to Asiata, body's in motion, Mella's one of those. Mella going to ground, can't get the pass away, 15 out. Going short side again here, Reynolds, oh great pass! Wonderful pass! Featherstone were going one way, Chamberlain was going the other, and Chamberlain scores. Maybe this is a match-winning try. Chamberlain is in, Lee lead 32-16.
I think it was Reynolds with a skill there. Takes the ball to the line. I think it was Craig Hall that came out for the gamble play looking for the intercept. He's done it many a times in his career. Look there, Pape looks right. Reynolds goes to the line, yeah, Craig Hall going for the intercept, leaves the ball. It's Chamberlain that gets over. It's Hall that needs to come up with his play. He leaves his man, leaves his centre looking for the intercept. It's one of them plays where you've got to come up with the ball. And in the end up, it's an easy walk in there for Chamberlain.
Yeah, Ben Reynolds let Craig Hall know when he'd thrown that pass. You can see the disappointment from Craig Hall there. You know, he's very good at that intercept play, but on that occasion just didn't get quite far enough up, and if you're gonna go, you've got to make it, because that's the result if you don't.
It was a try at either end, wasn't it? If he catches it, he's gone. He didn't, and Chamberlain was in. As he's going off for a breather, you see him there going off to the sideline. Brian McDermott might be just trying to get some rest into him ahead of the last few minutes if he can get him back out there, but Reynolds here. And it's every time Featherstone get back into the game, they make an error in their own half, and Lee, to be fair, have punished every single Featherstone error tonight, and they've done it by scoring tries. Reynolds from out wide, looking to add the extras here, sends it, pulled it way wide of the far post, and it's still a 16-point ball game. We've still got 25 minutes left of day one of the Summer Bash here on Premier Sports.
And if you couldn't get any worse, here it does. It's Lachlan Lamb. He's just entered the fray. He's come on as a, I think he's a half-back. He's in the middle of the field. Reynolds goes off to that finger injury.
Yeah, they're hoping that there's nothing more in that, and it maybe is only a dislocation rather than a broken bone, because that would be a problem. But Featherstone, well, they now need Lee to come up with an error, don't they, clearing their own lines as Ferguson comes in looking for some work. He's wrapped up. It's been a decent game, this one, but it's going really the way that the cup final and the game at the LSV went, the way of Lee. And you just wonder if they might fancy their chances of cutting loose. As the ball taken forward. And welcome to the game in England, Lachlan Lamb. Kick in behind from a Pape. Lynham brings it forward. Met and driven into the ground. And Featherstone have to start in their own 20. And look at the Featherstone forwards working their way back.
Great line speed from Wardle. Great line speed.
Well, we say it every week, don't we? You know, defending is an attitude, and you either want to do it or you don't, and you find that those that like doing it do it well, don't they?
They do it well, they hit hard, and they do it over and over, and I think that's the big thing.
Ferris
How consistent can you do it?
Yeah, Ferris with a good offload there, but only a couple more metres downfield as Hall comes up with it. They're coming down this near side to Ford, looks for the banana kick 40-20, and it's a 40-25 sadly for Featherstone. Didn't quite have the distance. And Lee will get the ball centre field. Ford making just his second start. It's going to be interesting, isn't it, when they're all fit and well, and if he sticks with Jackson, Smith. But as Kevin was saying earlier, you know, Riley Jack's going to be out for a few weeks at least.
Yeah, it gives Ford some time to pick up some form, getting the team, stamp his mark on the team. Listen, he's a highly talented player. He's a player that can come up with plays. He's really good at short sides. He's really good at assessing situations and playing off the cuff kind of rugby, and he's done it for a number of years at this level. So gives him a chance to get a good run under his belt.
It does. Ball 30 away from the Lee line. Lee driving it forward. Connor Jones got a bit of a bump there as a Pape is off again. Moores wraps him up. Halliwell too has been busy. And Lee working up towards halfway. So Pape now. It's a pretty basic set from Lee. As Mella never fails, does he, to take the line on. He's a nightmare for defenders. If Pape works it short side, they're looking to create numbers. Here's Ferguson, puts his boot on it. It's going to be another try. This time it's Stone who touches it down. Ferguson again the provider, this time with a little kick. And Stone is all smiles, it's his 8th of the season. And Lee Centurions wrapping up home advantage in the playoffs.
And there's so much to like about this try. I think that the initial run by Mellor creates it, then he Pape's vision, he sees the short sides open, but then the skill from Sam Stone, Chamberlain. And then it's that man again who we spoke about a lot tonight, Blake Ferguson. We see him when he gets hold of the ball. He gets hold of the ball, sums it up well, he can't pass the ball so he puts it on his toe. But the execution is absolutely perfect for Sam Stone, and there's so many bodies in the frame, I think 6 or 7, and that just shows you why they're winning so many games, winning so many games by so much of a margin.
And that's the reason why when you're training you do so many drills that involve 2-on-1, 3-on-2s, hand drills, hand-eye coordination, so when you get into situations like that and you say you're 3-on-2 or 4-on-3, you can get the ball through the hands in time, good timing, to the winger, gets through in space, but like Kev says, a pinpoint accurate perfection kick from Ferguson.
And you stop it and there's 7 red shirts and 1 green one, there's only one outcome, isn't there?
Well, that's it, and you have to be very, very lucky 7-1 every time. So, and especially when you've got such good skill who's aiming. I've been really impressed by all that right edge, but Blake Ferguson's tonight, he's just been on another level for a winger.
Again they hit the post. And Chamberlain this time off the kicking tee. So 20 points the advantage, 21 minutes remaining here on Premier Sports. Wins earlier on, Sheffield beating the London Broncos. Batley bashed their rivals Dewsbury 60 points to 6, and we saw Halifax beat the Bradford Bulls despite having a man sent off. They got the win, and here it looks like Lee are going to round off the day as Hall goes with a short restart. Batted down, it's picked up by Featherstone. Well, we found something that John Asiata can't do, and that's catch the high kickoff. Here now is Gadwin Springer. Well, Featherstone, not for the first time tonight, find themselves needing to score next. Lee packing out the bottom of that stand away to our right. Ball going forward now with Smith. Oh, it's on the ground. Moores knocks it on. To be fair tonight, Morgan Smith's not really been involved, has he? Not at all.
No, you could probably add Jack Broadbent into that as well. Two key players in their spine, just not had the time, the space, or the involvement that they need to really threaten a very, very, very good defensive line for Lee Centurions.
Are we watching a Super League team in Lee, Leon?
Yeah, I don't think they're far off. Listen, with that back line that they've got Chamberlain, Ferguson, McDonald, Charnley, Akins, Reynolds, Mellor, Sidlow. I mean, it's the names they speak for themselves, the quality and the style that they play as well. You know, not far off a Super League type team right now as it stands out there.
All on halfway. Here forward goes Asiata. Such an important cog in this Lee machine that is rumbling its way clear at the top. Plenty to happen between now and the end of the season, but as it stands, Lee will have home advantage all the way through the playoffs if they make it that far. Ball with a Papa. Here's Mellor again, gets it away to Asiata, finds Lamb, little chip kick through. Oh, that could be a try if they grounded it. They think they've got this down. This is going to be a try. Well, it looked for all money that the ball was rolling dead. Well, it's Charlie who's in the middle of it. Who got the final touch? We'll confirm. Wardle is in there as well, but the kick was from Lachlan Lamb, and it's Wardle's celebration. It's his try. Well, we mentioned his work rate. He never gave up on that ball. It looked to be rolling dead, and Wardle catches Featherstone napping. Lamb, his first real input into this team. The kick, Wardle gets there.
He had no right. He had no right to get there. They say the kick's only as good as the chase, and that kick was too heavy. But Joe Wardle made sure it wasn't too heavy, and he scores a try. Fantastic effort. I think it's a great reward for his effort areas all over the pitch tonight. Great try and great contribution from Lachlan Lamb.
I'm looking throughout this team, Leon, and I'm not seeing too many weak links. I'm seeing people that are willing to do the scruffy stuff. I'm seeing people that are willing to work hard. and people that have got the X factor.
Yeah, I think you're right, Mark. I think they're very well coached, and like you said, so bringing Blake Ferguson, who's a year away from playing State of Origin rugby.
What are those fans thinking, you think, the Featherstone fans? Are they worried about what's to come in the playoffs?
I don't think they can be too disappointed. The team's coming up against arguably the best team in the competition by some distance. They've worked hard, they've had effort. I think the sending off kind of affected the game. I think it's opened up the game more, made it more attacking. But they can't be too disappointed. Some of the recruits that Lee are making, Chandler, Ferguson, Lamb, these are international quality players that they're bringing in at the right end of the season.
8 tries, they've missed 4 goals. Oh, that's a good kick-off. Featherstone will get this one back. Courtesy of a goal line drop out. They've missed 4 goals. It could be a lot worse for Featherstone tonight. I think Brian McDermott will look at 3 or 4 of the tries that have come directly off errors from Featherstone, but truth be told, they've been outplayed again, haven't they, for the 3rd time in a row against Lee?
They have. It's not really been a contest from minute 1. They got stuck into him and scored the first try, and it's just looked one-way traffic since that. And like Leon said, this could potentially be the best team in the championship that I've ever seen, and possibly the most money that's ever been thrown at a team.
Well, you know, but then again, you don't always get what you pay for, do you? As Smith takes on the line, they have recruited very well. We have to say that the recruits have added. Now Featherstone are looking for consolation scores. Moores takes it forward, offloads it, intercepted, and a chance here now. And it was Stone who was alert to it. Just runs forward, takes the ball to ground. They're everywhere at the moment. They're such a confident team, this Lee Centurions side. It was that high, and the player gave himself up there, Craig Hall. And frustration building for Featherstone. Look, it'll all be about the big game, the £1 million game. What these two teams have got to make sure is that they're involved in it and worry about what happens then after that.
Yeah, that's it. It's on any given night. You know, tonight's not been Featherstone night. I'm sure they'll get some players back. You know, they'll have to think about a different way of playing this Lee side, because they can't go like for like. They're just too good. They've got too much good attack. And if you try and beat them at that game, you know, you'll get the same result that they have the last couple of times.
Chamberlain will take it forward. Brian McDermott will be drawing on memories of losing by 60 points at Castleford with Leeds, and then he went on and beat Castleford in the grand final. It can be done. But Lee at the moment are looking irresistible, but there is a long way to go yet, and there's other teams in the mix that maybe are flying the ointment for one of these two. It's not set in stone they'll meet in the £1 million game, but we wouldn't be backing against it as they go for another try. I'm sure Batley, Halifax, Barrow, Widnes and York will have plenty to say about that. Ball bounces, and there was a Kevin Brown bounce pass, not effective on this occasion.
I'm a worse.
Last one for Lee. Here's Mellor. 14 remaining. Kick taken by Broadbent. You look at Joe Mellor, and we've seen him in fairness. Oh, big collision there. Wardle got that one wrong. Gets a pat on the back. He's okay, thankfully. You know, we look at Joe Mellor. He's played in sides that have struggled in the past. Credit to him, but now he's in a very good team. He looks a very good player, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he plays exactly the same, doesn't he? Just tenacious, takes the line on, very good defender. But when he's surrounded by better players, he just looks that much better. I think his kicking game especially has been really good tonight.
Hasn't he, in this team? I think he has.
He's a leader now, isn't he? He's a leader, he leads the team, he's the dominant half-back.
Yeah, and he's brave. And as a Lee fan, you love him that he plays for your club. Here's Akins, gets it away to Charnley. Charnley, who's denied a try earlier on when Gareth Gale tackled him into touch. And he was denied one when Caleb Akins nicked one off him.
I'm disappointed that he's not got one.
Still time, 13 left. It's important here, Leon, that Featherstone don't let this blow out, isn't it?
Yeah, just for their own confidence when they do come up against them again. With the games, listen, the game's got dead and buried, but Brian Mack is definitely still want them to show good characteristics of a team that always plays for each other right to the final whistle.
Here's a Pape now. Lee looking for more points. Mellor, little chip over the top. Will it stay in the field of play this time? No, it won't. Just a little bit too much on it. 7-tackle restart for Featherstone Rovers, who, I believe, just eking out of them at the moment. It's Lynham again with an offload. Gale will get it. The 0 tackle, 30 off the Rovers line. Rovers have got players to come back in. We have to factor that in. There will be, if they're all fit, a different proposition. And Smith gets it away. The 2 red cards, remember, both playing with 12 after red cards in half and half, and Nene McDonald and Tyler Heppy. There's the ball now with Springer. Springer's tackle. Ball goes to Ford. Ford just pumps the kick through, but Akins is going to watch this, hoping it'll roll dead, and it does, and it's a bit of a nothing kick from Ford. And Featherstone would be quite happy if the hooter went now and saved them the final 11 minutes of hard graft that they've got in front of them. The Black Campers away to our left are still there on the western terrace, but they've been pretty quiet tonight. Not much for them to cheer about at the moment. As Lee go forward with Sidlow. Wildy makes the tackle. Now they'll play it. And infield they go. Asiata gets it away to Lamb. Oh, what a step that was. And again, little flick pass. They're moving it wide. Lee starting to go through the gears. Here's Ferguson. Little kick in field. Mellor's after it. He deserved one, Mellor. He's not quite going to get one. But he'll get the next best thing and tackles Smith in goal, who was on the cover. But Ferguson tonight has been brilliant.
Has he been watching soccer or football over here? I think he's put 3 kicks in so far this game. They've been absolutely perfect. It's right on the money. Good cover. Again, it's great skill on that short side.
What about the footwork from Lockie Lamb?
Oh yeah, that was nice.
Wow.
That was lovely.
So quick.
Here come the Centurions again. Ferguson takes it in. New contract. We know he will be in Super League with Lee should they make it. Here's Sidlow. And for all the big money recruits, players like Sidlow, the glue that hold teams together, he's been outstanding again. Here now is Lamb. Fires it to Akins. Akins comes back looking for the hat-trick. Akins going again, but he's run behind his own man. Needed to take the tackle and he didn't.
I'm sure it caused an obstruction. I get the rule. Thought that should have been play on myself. I'm not sure anyone got took out. He just runs through line. That's a try for me. That's
It's a bit of an anomaly, that. He's run through the line and he has impeded nobody. But the rules are the rules. And Featherstone will kick towards halfway. 10 minutes remaining. Day 1 at the Bash. Almost done and dusted. Tomorrow we're back. Barrow against Widnes. Big game that. John Keir's team on a bit of a roll in recent weeks. Widnes rejuvenated. We know they've got the firepower, Widnes. Can they get a big win and give themselves an outside chance? Tomorrow we'll find out. 1:45 the kick-off there. Then the Cumbrian derby, Whitehaven against Workington. Whitehaven need a win, don't they? Workington even more desperate for them. And then we round it all off. James Ford's York taking on Newcastle, who we saw a few weeks ago blitz the Bradford Bulls. So 3 more big games tomorrow. York need wins as well after a poor run for them. Ford works it out wide, and the tackle made. And Featherstone is playing hot potato stuff here. Ford, little step, goes back to the short side again. Ball with a pass, gets it out wide. Helliwell back to Broadbent. Broadbent this time is wrapped up. They're 25 away. What can they do here, Featherstone? They'd like to take another couple of tries home with them if they could. Here is Ford, gets it away to Smith. Smith thinks about kicking in behind. Gale is after it, but the kick, I think he's going to beat him. And it does, rolls into touch. And Charlie never really in too much danger there on his own line.
Yeah, that's just playing the game now, Feb. There's not much more they can do. Not a bad kick, not very attacking, but the game's dead and buried, 8 minutes to go. I think Lamb will be really happy with his team's performance tonight.
He will. You know, they wanted a test tonight, and in parts they've had one, but what they have been, Leon, and it's what all good teams are. They've been ruthless. When they had chances, they've taken them.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the sending off had quite a big impact on opening the game up a little bit. Like you said, when they have had a chance tonight, they've taken it every single time. High skill level.
Get you thinking caps on for player of the match, fellas. We'll get that in a few moments' time. Plenty of contenders. This fella will be one of them as well. Joe Mellor. Here's Asiata, gets it away to Akins. Akins breaks through. Now Akins is quick. He's got support. He's inside, and it's going to be a debut try. Lachlan Lamb dives in. He looks up at the Featherstone fans and says, "See you later, guys." Lee getting home advantage in the playoffs. A new signing and another star in the making. Lamb scores. Lee lead 44-16.
I bet that's put the biggest smile on his dad's face, Adrian Lamb, the coach, tonight. You know, I think he's been really impressive. He's been patient. He's not trying to do everything when he's come on the field. He set one try up, he set a break up, and then he scored the try. His dad doesn't look overly impressed. I think he's trying to sort of substitute, but he's been fantastic. And what a bit of firepower they've got off the bench. They brought Ipape on, they brought Kai O'Donnell on. They brought the man who scores the try, Lachlan Lamb, on. Caleb Akins featured really well tonight, Mark. Scored a few, created a few.
Nice break. We're disappointed with the defence, Featherstone, but again, it looks simple, Leon, but you've still got to do it, draw the defender and pass the ball.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Mark. I think Kev makes a really, really good point there about when Lamb come onto the field, he's not rushed around and trying to create too much. He's not trying to involve himself too much. He's been patient. He's let the game come to him. But when he has been involved, he's shown his class and quality. I think it's a really good point. He's been patient, not trying to overplay.
Well, Ferguson's had enough of standing on the sideline. He said, "Look, I've shown you I can kick it. Give me the kicking turn. I'm going to start kicking the goals now."
I told you he's been watching football, this boy.
Well, he can't have been that one over the bar, not under it.
Do everything.
46 points to 16. 6 minutes remaining here. There is the latest Lee superstar, Lachlan Lamb. Brought in, he's been long rumoured to be coming. And a great night for those Lee fans as they celebrate another win over Featherstone, third of the season. They won the cup final, they've won 2 out of the 3 in the championship, and they are the team to beat. As we go into the closing stages of the championship season, you'll see it all the way through here on Premier Sports. And now a penalty against, I think we heard the referee say that Gadwin Springer was offside there. That's another penalty. Well, they would want 50, wouldn't they, here? As Leon said, it'd hurt. It'd hurt Featherstone if they did get 50, Lee, but that's what they're playing for now.
Yeah, they'll be playing for 50, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if they get over that. The way they're attacking every time they attack now, they look like they're going to break the line. Fev just need to hold on here. Some pride. Lee set up to attack the right hand side, Mellor organising. See what comes now.
Here we go then. Asiata gets it away. Mellor trying to slice his way through. Lee looking for what would be a 10th try. 4 minutes remaining. They're within striking distance again. Sidlow goes forward. Can't find an offload but finds his knees. Gets a quick play of the ball. Here now is Smith. Smith takes on the line. He's wrapped up 5 away. Last one. Which way are they going? Lamb wants the ball and he's going to get it now. He's going to put the little dribble kick through. It bounces. It's picked up by Smith and Featherstone survive.
Yeah, another little nice kick, but good play from Morgan Smith, just getting down on the ball. They're not just giving it up. But he looks dangerous every time he's getting the ball, Lachlan Lamb. He's got to pass or run. So obviously that kick threat that he put in there.
Leilua with a carry, more born out of frustration. I think he's not seen enough of the ball. Second half as Ferris almost slid over the sideline there. Here's Smith, gets it away, Wildy. All taken forward by Dan Fleming. Rejoined the club, having had a spell at the Bradford Bulls. Here's Ford now, gets it away. Good defence, Ferguson. And now they're trying to get under him and chuck him over the sideline. Intercepted by Mellor. And I think if a passage of play sums Lee up tonight, that's it. They're prepared to work hard.
Yeah, to a man that they've thrown the bodies in. I think Caleb Aikens, he's not had much to do at the back because there's not been many breaks. Yeah, Blake Ferguson, he's just so big and strong. He's like having a front rower on the wing. When he hit him, then he just picked him up and threw him into touch. I think it was only for a good offload that they didn't get the ball back, but they intercepted it, so it worked.
Here's Asiata now. Lamb with a kick over the top. Charlie's after it. He's got past Gale. Will he get the bounce? Charlie's knocked it on. Oh my word. He drops it over the line. He protests. He thought he'd scored. The look on his face says he's bluffing.
You don't normally see that from Josh Charlie when he gets a chance, but he has. He's dropped the ball.
Wow. That try bonus. Saved Derek Beaumont a few pounds tonight. 3 could have had. That would have been 50. We're inside the final 2 minutes. Featherstone are beaten. Here's a chance now for Gale to the 40. Ball now goes centre field. Here's Wildy, gets it away to Ford. Ford now draws the man, gets it away to Hall, puts his boot to ball. There could be a chance for Lynham here. The referee's blown for a penalty.
Yeah, he's pulled him back after he's kicked the ball.
Was it not a little bit premature?
He just blocked it. I think he did, and the kick went in touch.
Okay, fair enough.
But yeah,
here's a replay.
Probably needs to do a bit better here, Tom Lynham. He's got a chance and
he's not catch that.
Put up and score.
Oh well, they'll get another chance here. Here's Leilua. Leilua, whose early try got Featherstone back within 2. It's the nearest they've been. And they've got a chance late on here in the last set as they go short side. Ferris will get the ball away. We'll get the guys player of the match in a moment. Here on Premier Sports as Moores tries to power his way through. They want to take a try with them if they can. And the ball now with Ford, moves it wide. Broadbeck gets the ball away, but it's gone forward. That'll be it, boys. Let's get your player of the match if we can. Who are you going for?
Well, there's lots of things to like in attack. I think we spoke about Joe Mellor and Reynolds. Nene McDonald was influential before he went off. Blake Ferguson and Aikens, but we've gone for Joe Wardle, and we've gone for Joe Wardle because of his defence. He's flown off his line, he's hit hard. He's knocked himself out at the end of the game and he's got a rest. But he chased everything. He chased the kick for his try, and I think all them little effort areas. When you've got such a talented side, you mentioned it before about it's not just about spending money, it's about bringing them all together, and you can't do that unless you get the soldiers like Joe Wardle going chasing everything, putting energy and bending his back. So that's why we've chosen for the player of the match.
Good stuff. Adrian Lamb will be delighted with that. Handshakes with Chris Chester. They're putting together a band of brothers here who are challenging for Super League, and not only that, when they get in the Super League, won't be just down at the bottom. Adam Sidlow leading this club very well indeed. Lee faithful are in full voice away to our right hand side. A game that saw 2 red cards was played ultimately in very good spirit, and those Lee fans celebrating. They'll be looking forward to what they hoped will be a grand final at the Lee Sports Village at the end of the season. Long way to go yet, but with players like Ferguson in full flow, who knows what could happen. And then of day 1 at the Bash, let's get reaction with our player of the match. He's with Ross.
Joe Wardle, congratulations. Betfred, player of the match. What a win, what a statement.
Mate, we needed that. Yeah, it's been a tough game, that one. I thought we started pretty well, and then a few hours just let Fev back into it. But if I'm honest, I thought his D were outstanding today. Aggressive line speed, and yeah, I'm happy for the boys. I'm glad we dug in and got the win.
To be fair though, I mean, you controlled the game from start to finish, really.
Oh, yeah, I think we base a lot of that on being in the grind. Like, we want to put teams in the grind every week, and I like fair play to the boys. Like most weeks we come out on top, and like this week we knew it'd be a lot longer to be in that grind. And like I say, I'm just glad we got through that and managed to show what we can do like near the end.
Well, you're a bit battered and bruised, got an ice pack on your calf. What's the situation?
Cramping, it's old age.
Don't be daft. Hey, and you've just signed for another year at Leeds, so it's the place to be at the moment, potentially Super League next year.
Yeah, fingers crossed. We're definitely building the right way. Obviously that was the goal at the beginning of the year, to get Leeds back up there, and like fair play to what Chesney, Derek and Lammy are doing. Like they're definitely putting a squad together to get back there, so we've just got to do our part on the field, keep being consistent, and hopefully the wins will come and we'll be back up there at the end of the year.
Well, congratulations tonight. You get yourself rested up, get yourself tucked up to bed.
If you could bottle the atmosphere here in Headingley right now, I think the Leeds fans would drink it forever. Adrian Lamb there lapping it up, looking absolutely delighted. The atmosphere is incredible, and you can see just how much it means to his men. We are going to have all the analysis with the boys after the break.
On your barbecue favourites. And with £20 off your first shop, there's an Ocado just for you. Ocado's got Doritos 180 gram sharing packs, now £1.25. And with £20 off your first shop, there's an Ocado just for you.
The Dyson OmniGlide, now at Curry's. Designed for the hard floors in your home, it effortlessly manoeuvres around obstacles into tight spots and even lays flat with no loss of suction. With fluffy motorized rollers and an amazing omnidirectional head that twists, turns and swivels, it removes fine particles to help keep even those awkward spots pristine. It transforms to a handheld for speedy spot cleans too. And if you buy now, you can pay nothing for up to 12 months. At Curry's.
What an end to a phenomenal day here at Headingley Stadium for the Summer Bash. You can see just how much that dominant win means to the Leeds Centurions, who celebrate with the fans. And it means a special lot to the man stood right next to me, Adrian Lamb, the head coach. Huge congratulations, a 19-game winning streak. Adrian, what are you doing with these men?
I think they're just playing for each other at the moment. The 19 doesn't really matter. It's the way that they keep turning up for each other, and big game mentality this week, and I thought they were courageous.
And Adrian, how have you found the integration of new players? I mean, throughout the season, the recruitment has continued. We've seen recently Josh Chandler get recruited into the side, your own son Lachlan Land coming into the team. How have you found managing that recruiting and bringing these players into the environment and keeping everyone happy and able to deliver the performances that you are?
That's a good question, because you've got to make sure that the squad's happy overall. It's been a difficult process to be able to keep recruiting with the potential of what the end result's going to be. So it's just making sure I communicate with the players and be honest through the whole process. And the players that have come in are quality players, and someone has to miss out through that. But the club's been aggressive too in the retention and the recruitment of new players with intent, showing plenty of intent.
Yeah, I'm going to mention something about that, Lammy. I'm going to say today you had a number of players who were playing at basically 9 out of 10, but for me, watching Blake Ferguson, how much of a coup is he to have to this competition, to rugby league's all in this country? I mean, he's a fantastic player, only just stopped playing NRL. And still, it looks absolutely fantastic out there today. I really enjoyed watching him play.
Yeah, absolutely. He's a world-class player, and but he's also a good bloke and brings a lot of joy to the players. He's a bit of a joker around the place, but just signed for another 2 years for us, again showing that intent as a club of where we want to head to, and just his experience and just his power game. Like, he's a big body and he brings so much to us there. And he just reminded me that he set up a few tries with his kick as well, which I've said to him, I'm not sure if you want to do that, mate, but he said, just trust me. So, it's worked tonight.
But it must be pleasing as well, Adrian, that you've got players like Blake Ferguson, who, let's be honest, he's a quality player, probably not going to be short of offers and opportunities, that he wants to stay at Lee and build and be part of that journey.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think he feels that Lee looked after him through a difficult period, and through our ownership of Derek Beaumont and Neil Jukes, the support that he's got there, he feels that he wants to repay the club with a 2-year deal. So for us and our town and the fans, it's great news. It's as good as it gets. So very pleased.
Lammy, how happy was you with your son tonight? I thought he came on and he big legs here, and he was controlled. He didn't try and do too much, but the stuff he did was quality.
Yeah, look, he's been playing great in the reserve grade competition in the NRL, and we've had quite a few conversations this week about making sure he doesn't overplay his hand and to fit in with what we're doing at the moment. I thought he did that reasonably well tonight. Got a feel for it. Scored a try and debut, which is nice for him. So I'm happy for him.
Adrian, it's clear just how much this win meant to your men tonight, and it's clear that there's a really positive feeling running throughout the whole team. What is it that's keeping that momentum going, do you think? Because it's as much a mental thing as a physical thing. I think it's just a balance of making sure that everyone's on the same page, and that's the hardest part. I mean, you see some clubs in Super League and NRL struggling at the moment. I think it's because of that lack of communication. But I think the group understand where we're at. We've got to keep our feet grounded, because even though we've won 19 in a row, as you said, it doesn't really mean that much when it comes down to it. So we've just got to make sure that we keep our feet grounded and keep improving. That's the goal. We're not happy with where we're at even tonight, even though the scoreline was quite big. I thought we were clunky at parts, so we've got some improvement ourselves.
Lammy, is that the danger going when you're winning so well and so convincingly? You're not really getting in the grind. You're blowing everyone away. Is there a danger of peaking too soon?
No, I think that's why you've got to have a why and it's not Super League. We don't talk about Super League. We don't talk about the £1 million game. For me, it's everything else. It's about being together and the journey that this group of men have got together for 12 months. So if we just focus on that and keep working hard on the rugby side on field, the rugby takes care of itself. They've got to be together and care about each other. I think that's the most important part, and they do that. So it doesn't matter, what whether we finish first. It doesn't matter as long as we're playing for each other, and I think you can see that we're doing that. Yeah.
Just finally, I just want to ask, what are those improvements that you touched on? You said you were clunky in parts and you've still got improvements to make. Just quickly, what are those, Adrian?
I thought we didn't, we forced a couple of errors on ourselves, and at times when I felt all of Featherstone's points came off the back of our errors. So that's the part that I would like to just tidy up a bit. If we can just minimise that, we'll be better off for it.
You're extremely humble. Huge congratulations, and thank you as always for joining us, Adrian Lamb. We'll let you duck off, because I think Blake Ferguson's ears must have been burning. He must have heard us talking about him. Thank you very much. And again, as we just echoed with your head coach there, huge congratulations. How are you feeling after that?
Yeah, really good. I'm really satisfied with the win, but we let in some tries there based on our errors and just little mistakes and letting them out of their own end. We want to try and suffocate them in their own end, and we didn't do good enough in that side of the game. But yeah, we're pretty pleased with the attacking, but we still got a bit to work on.
And Blake, talk us through that try assist with the kick, mate. Talk us through it.
I don't know. Just seeing the players kick it, let Stoney do the rest of the work. I was a bit tired out there, but yeah, we're a great group of guys. We all care for each other. There's a brotherhood here. Everyone loves each other, and we all turn up for each other in the tough times. So that's what just makes it that little bit of difference there on the field. There, we care about each other. And we want to do the hard work for each other.
Blair, great to see you over in this competition, playing well. Still like you playing with a smile on your face. Are you enjoying your time over in England so far?
Yeah, definitely. I've had a fair bit of experience with Lammy. I was over semi-retired at home there. Just chilling, playing with some mates and all that. So to get the love back from rugby league again, I'd come over here, enjoying rugby league, playing with some of my mates that I know from back home, and just forging great relationships with all the English lads as well. So yeah, it's been a pleasure, and really happy to be staying here for the next couple of years.
Blake, Emma said that your try celebration was fantastic. I was a bit disappointed you didn't do the somersault in front of your crowd.
Can you do that for us now? We're joking.
I'm too cold now. No, the score's too close. I don't want to be doing that type of stuff and getting this slapping on the other side of the face and getting beat. So it just depends on the style of game that we're playing. And I'm happy with the scoreline, but we've still got plenty to work on. Few errors and just little piggybacks that we don't like to give.
Yeah, you certainly become a fan's favourite with the Lee Centurions fans and faithful there. How impressed have you been with the Lee Centurions fans?
Oh, they've been great since the first week I got here. Just definitely, I felt the love, especially in the Lee town centre. So really enjoying it here at the moment, and really happy and pleased to finally get the deal over the line and spend the next couple of years in Lee and get in the Super League next year. And try and give that a crack. I've been watching from afar, watching Wigan and St Helens and all those types of teams, and I feel like I'd love to match it against them and see where I stand.
Blake, we will let you go and enjoy the celebrations. Just very quickly, Adrian said, how you're a bit of a joker and you're a character. Do you see that as your role amongst your teammates?
Oh, I see. I'm a bit of a joker and a bit of an out there kind of guy. But when it comes to rugby league, I know a fair bit, and I try and motivate the boys in certain ways, and I try and instill belief in my teammates, left and right, inside and outside. So I just want to get that belief within the group, and we can do big things if we just keep believing that we can.
Well, you're certainly doing big things. Huge congratulations, and thank you again for joining us, Blake Ferguson. Thank you. We'll let you duck off there and go and enjoy the celebrations. Thank you very much.
Well played.
Let's just continue talking about Blake Ferguson, because he is a man that we've spoken about throughout this game. How impressed have you been with him, Kev?
Sometimes when the players, they've played for Australia and New South Wales, they disappoint, but he's improving. He looks like he's getting better and better. The speed he's got and the smarts. I know we spoke about him, climbing around, but the smarts he's got, the way he hits the lines, the way he's got the speed off the mark, I just think he's been incredible for the competition. And the way Adrian's brought all the recruits in, they've all performed.
Another opportunity here on the right hand side, Kev. I mean, if you look there, he makes that skill look really, really easy. But you give that ball to a winger, sometimes they make that look really, really hard. Draws the full back, ball in two hands. Let's not forget, this guy was playing at the top level, the best level, State of Origin only 2 years ago, and was one of the best wingers in the NRL, which is the toughest competition in the world. His touch there and the kick's unbelievable. He said he's been practicing his football skills, but I think it was absolutely unbelievable tonight.
I mean, it was an all-round extremely quality performance, wasn't it, Hendo?
Yeah, I think it was. I think, not just from that man there. I think when I watch the Lee Centurions at the moment, each week they are playing collectively for each other and as a team. It's really exciting. And it's also exciting too when they are bringing in new recruits, as we're about to speak to this man here to my right. Those players are just fitting in really well, seamlessly, and that's a credit to the organisation and to the team.
Well, you mentioned this man to your right. Thank you so much for joining us, Lachlan Lamb. How are you feeling after that?
No, I'm pretty buzzing at the moment. The fans are crazy out here. It's well louder than most of the games I've played in, so it's good to be.
Must have been a really, really special occasion for you tonight.
Yeah, I think on a few levels, getting to come over and play off the back of the team's successes, you guys just touched on there, and add my little part to it. But then, reuniting with my dad, who I haven't been coached under, or I don't think he's seen me play live actually in a couple of years. So, it's good to be here.
Yeah, Lachlan, you worked in Australia under Trent Robinson, one of my old coaches. Give us a bit of insight into what you think of his coaching methods, how he's worked with you in the past, and how he developed your game. Just give us a bit of insight, because obviously he's one of the best coaches in the world.
Yeah. Robbo's he's a very methodical coach. I think, my dad coaches a free play of footy, and it's similar in that way. Robbo lets you play without handcuffs, but he's also very methodical, and he puts a lot of thought into the other team and how we're going to beat them. Like I said, I haven't really been in many other systems other than his, so I think it was pretty lucky for me to land in his system.
Lockie, what's your goals coming over here for the short term this year and then for next year?
Yeah, I think this one's pretty simple. I think we obviously want to win and move up there. So I think me coming in is not about changing much. It's just about getting off the back of what the boys are doing and adding my flavour to it. That's obviously this year's goals, and then next year obviously we want to compete in the Super League as well. So once we take care of our job this year, and we've got to get through that first. But once we get up, we want to have a crack too.
I know you've not long just arrived, Lachlan, but was the plan always for you to play this evening?
I I think so. That's how I got over here so quick, I think. But yeah, Dad was sort of tossing up if he wanted me to or not. Obviously, the big flight, and I could feel it in my legs there a little bit.
Yeah,
they blew out pretty quickly. But yeah, I think it was, yeah.
Michael, what did your dad say to you
Before the game?
after? Or have you not spoken yet?
No, I haven't really spoken to him. I couldn't hear him either. The crowd's so loud. But I think he's pretty stoked, pretty proud.
Is that a really nice feeling, knowing just how proud you will have made him? Because that's a really unique experience, actually.
Yeah, it's funny. We've had a lot of little moments like that in my career so far. It's only just started, but it weirdly works out in my career so far where I've done similar things that he's done and played in similar jerseys to him. And yeah, I think this is just another one of those things that's pretty cool for us as a family. And I'm definitely not taking that for granted.
Your career really has only just started, and exciting. We're all going to be excited to see where it takes you. Lachlan Lamb, thank you very much for taking the time to come and join us.
Too easy.
Huge congratulations. We'll let you duck off and go and join your dad, and he can
Thanks,
finally
guys.
tell you how proud he is of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. See you later.
Thank you. Huge congratulations. Just another example, like we touched on, of the quality that's running through this Leigh side.
Absolutely, and it's just like, you think they've got the quality that they've already got, and then all of a sudden they just go make another signing of that sort of quality, and you just think, when's it going to stop? But as Adrian touched on in his interview, they've showed that signal of intent. They know where they want to go. They know the type of player and the quality of player that's needed, not only to get them there, but allow them to stay there when they get there as well.
I think Endo in the past, I think Leigh have maybe been guilty of throwing up money at players that were just the names at that time, big names at that time, rather than names that fit a system that were going to be value for money, that came over with a point to prove, and that fit into the culture of the club. And this year, I think they've done it right. They seem to be doing it right. They're getting players that have got a point to prove rather than...
And Lammy's got the trust. He knows them. He knows them well. He knows Blake well. He obviously knows Lachlan well. And I think that the glimpses Lockie showed tonight, he could be one of the best players in the Championship this year. But if he gets into the Super League, he can light the Super League up as well.
You touched on the fact that it isn't just money, it's knowing that they're going to gel and work together as a team. How do you actually go about that? Because I know it's all well and good knowing players, but until you actually see them together, you don't know that, do you?
Well, you've got Chris Chester. You always make sure you do your due diligence, make sure you do your research on the players that you're buying, you speak to the coaches, people within the game, people like Kev Brown who are agents, and make sure you get the inside track that they're going to fit. They want to come over to England to prove a point. They want to experience the English culture. They want to bed into a team. It's not all just about how they played in the NRL or how they played in France. They want to know that they want to buy into a system, they want to live in England, they want to experience the culture, they want to prove themselves, not come over for a holiday and just pick up a wage, because that's what we've seen on many occasions. I think so far what you've seen from all the players that Leigh have bought is definitely that they want to buy into the system, buy into Adrian Lamb, and they want to play for the club, and they want to live in England, and that's a really big deal to get the best out of them when they're on the field.
These are exactly the kind of things that we've been saying about Fev, though. So what isn't quite clicking there at the minute, do you think?
Oh, look, I'll be honest. I just think when I look at the two teams in comparison, I look at a Leigh side that's not only, as Leon pointed out, hungry to achieve and wanting to achieve. I just think the quality. I look at the quality of the Leigh Centurions, and I look at that, and I think there's a lot more Super League quality players in that side compared to the Featherstone side. I think the Featherstone team have got a lot of good players. For me, that are probably top end championship players. Or they're players that are probably just aging a little bit now, and just sort of creaking a little bit. And I just think at the moment, the Leigh Centurions look not only a better team, but I just think the quality of players at their disposal in their arsenal is far superior to the
And they've got the best players on the field. I think we can't underestimate the quality of Jack Bussey, Mark Corella, Riley Jacks. The three of the main players, all the main players were on Leigh Centurions field tonight and playing, key pivotal parts in that game. So I think, this season's not over by a long shot. I think this could actually, we look back at this, and this could be the worst thing for Leigh Centurions. You get all them players back, and subconsciously you think you're going to win by 50 in a grand final. It never happens.
So do you think, Fev, there could be an element then of Brian McDermott feeling quietly confident actually with where they're at?
Not at the minute. Off the back of that, he'll be disgusted and really disappointed that they've been beat by 50 and let the fans down. Even though I say you can't underestimate the quality of players missing, they could still have a competitive game tonight and not be beaten by 50.
But that's the other key as well. I think we spoke about it pre-game. When you look at Featherstone's last 5 games leading into this, they're conceding on average just under 24 points a game. Leigh, on the other hand, were conceding on average 4 points a game. Both teams are attacking pretty well and scoring points, but it's the Featherstone Rovers defensive area that needs fixing up, and it's again proved to be evident tonight. They've allowed 40 odd points past them again tonight, so that's for me the area of concern for Brian McDermott. That's the area he needs to focus on and get right. But as we know, back into the season, come the business end, it's a one-off game. It's a one-off game to get promotion to the Super League, and Featherstone do, if they can get full strength, have got some players in there that can cause that Lee Centurions problem. So you never know on the day, but they've still got a long way to go for me to get that right.
Well, we have been trying to chat to Brian McDermott. We've been trying to get him over for a chat, but as of yet, we can't. So probably what you were saying, Kev, rings true, that he's not very happy with that performance.
Don't say it too loud. It's just
walk past us. Yes, Mary, just walk past us.
Well, let's talk about the bright sparks then. Sam Eze was a bright spark, wasn't he, in that side?
He was fantastic, and every time he touched the ball, he looked dangerous. He carried it, he scored a try, he set Connor Jones up. I think you need to see more from Junior Moores doing similar stuff. I thought every time, there was a bit of second phase and they were offloading the ball. Quality offloads, not the offload like Tom Lynham. This is in the first half where Esse just runs to bust, and that's the thing, he's not running to offload. He earns the right to offload, and off the back creates carnage in the line and gives the opportunity to Connor Jones to score. So they need more of that if they're going to blow apart this fantastic Lee Centurions defence.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Kev. I think you touched on it at half time as well about that. That second phase play. Like I said, I think that might be the way forward for Featherstone if they can kind of flood the middle, get a bit of close support around there, get those big boppers, Springer, Esse, as we're seeing here, bumping, turning, offloading Junior Moores as well. And that might sort of break down this Centurions defensive line, because at the moment when you watch the Centurions, they do look very well organised defensively, don't they, Leon?
They do, yeah, but like you see there, he's made the offload, reloaded, come back onto the ball at 100 mile an hour and crashed over the line. He's just showing great determination there, a will to win, a will to get over the line.
Boys, stay where you are. We've managed to grab at Brian McDermott. He's with Ross Fitters right now.
Brian, hard luck tonight. What's your assessment of that?
I appreciate the hard luck. I don't think it was anything to do with luck. I'm not going to try and assess that for you. We completed at 36% in the second half and not very high in the first half. I think for the game was around about 50s, which, he's probably trying to assess that. We can beat Lee. And we probably need to lose 3 times to work out what it is we need to do. They've got a very good team. They are, and they play well. They are playing well. They are incredibly strong through the middle. And at some stage in that game, they did us physically. That has to be said. They did us physically. But at some stage, we got to have a bit more belief than we have strength. And that's my bit, is that we lacked belief there. It wasn't that they're too strong for us. If you go into it and you don't believe and you don't trust yourself defensively, you don't trust each other defensively, well then you clearly you're going to get done physically. So, the scenario where there's a big dominant physical team that just pretty much does what they want and things come off for them, that's not new to the game, is it? And I play with the team many years ago. I just said to my players, I play with the team many years ago, that we weren't a really good team, but we're just very, very physically dominant. Every time a team came and just put it on us and said, bang, you're not having it today, you're not going to do what you normally do each week, we didn't have a game plan. Now, I think Lee are a bit better than that, and I think they've got a bit more behind them than that. But our challenge is to give it a dig, is to complete somewhere around about 70% or 80%, and then if we're still getting beat by 40, then I'm worried. Then I'm really concerned. I'm disappointed, and there's all sorts of things I could say, but just weirdly, if you're going to complete at 50s, that happens, and I don't care whether it's Lee or anybody, but credit to Lee. They got some smart plays there early in the game which got the scoreboard ticking their way, I will say that. It's at that time that we need to have some of that belief and just say, look, forget about that, let's go. Our kicking game was awful. Completion rate was awful. Our defence, especially on the left-hand side in that second half, we just lost composure. We lost all defensive discipline. But that's what you do when you just get put on the back foot. I told you I wasn't going to assess it, and I just have, haven't I?
Well, look, I really appreciate the honest assessment there. And like I say, hard luck again tonight and good luck against Widnes next week.
We all appreciate the honest assessment there. And one of the things that he pointed out there, Kev, was that they didn't have a game plan, and that's quite worrying for a FEV side, isn't it?
Oh, I think he meant we didn't have a game plan because we were beaten physically.
Yeah.
I think.
But that's worrying for them.
Yeah, it's worrying when you get beat physically, and you can't do anything. Even if you've got the best game plan in the world and you beat him physically, you're not going to win the game. I think he was very, very honest and very true, and I believed a lot of the stuff he said. And I feel when he says, it might take losing and tough lessons, if they can get that belief. If they can get that belief.
He certainly is honest. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
He also spoke about trust there, or a lack of trust. How important is trust when you're actually out there on the field, Leon?
Trust, I think, is probably up there with the number one element in a team, to trust your players from the inside that are going to make the tackles, that you're going to work from market, do all the things that are hard, that are, to get over the line, working from market. Just the effort-based stuff is trust is the number one thing in a team, in your teammate. And then when you lack trust and you start second-guessing each other, it can cause you a lot of problems. It can cause arguments within the team, and ultimately you lose belief in winning the games.
I think you're right. That trust comes from Leon, doesn't it? That trust comes from those actions you spoke about, those effort areas, those marker tackles. That line speed. That scramble sort of defence. That being there for one another. That's where the trust gets built, and off the back of that, that's where you generate confidence as a team, because then actually blokes are turning up, blokes are doing the little things for each other. You build that confidence, and then that's what generates belief. You then get belief off the back of that, because then you go, you know what, we know, hey, we're a good team, we can do something.
And it's very difficult to get trust from words.
Correct.
We've had 3 games now where that trust has been shattered and that belief has been shattered. He spoke about belief, and they can do as much video review as they want and say you can beat these. If you don't believe it in your heart or your head and you're mentally,
or if you're not willing to
put
that into actions, what I mean? Those things.
You're never going to win a game unless Lee hand you so many opportunities and play poor themselves.
Okay, so strip it back then. What do Fev do under those circumstances between now and their next game against Widnes?
For me, I think they just got to strip things back. Defensively is obviously an issue at the moment because they are leaking too many points. So they need to start going back and looking at getting the smaller detail around their tackle technique, tackle management. Focus on the effort areas defensively. I'd be looking at that and just trying to focus on competing and then trying to build off the back of that, because I think their attack at the moment has been pretty decent. They're scoring points most weeks, but defensively they've got to improve that, especially if they're going to stop the juggernaut that is the Leeds Centurions at the moment, because like I said, their attacking prowess is phenomenal.
We saw at times John Ford just shooting up, and that looked like fear to me. He was shooting off the line. He was just giving a penalty away because he didn't believe that they could stop it.
Or trust your inside man.
Yeah. I think they need to get under the skin. To beat this side, they can't play the same kind of game. Not do what Tyler Eppie did, but not far off. I think they need to go out and try and bully them. Really because there's such a good attacking side, they need to try and combat that and throw them off the game somehow.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what Brian Mack was alluding to, isn't it? In what he said there. He said we need to be more physical. We need to complete high so we've got more share of possession so we can actually try and de-energise the opposition. I think that's kind of what he was speaking about in his interview, to give themselves any sort of hope or chance. But he still believes. That's the exciting thing. That's the encouraging thing after hearing his interview. He still believes that team he's got there's enough in that team, there's enough quality and there's enough genuine people there that will come together and give it a crack come the back end of the year. But as we know, it all rests on one game.
It certainly does. We're getting deep here, boys. I like this. As much as I could stay here all night and talk about this, we have got 3 more games to look forward to tomorrow. We're here at Headingley live for the Summer Bash in the Championship. Please do join us. We're going to be live from 1:15 tomorrow afternoon on Premier Sports 1. Now then, boys. You might have remembered very much earlier on in the day that we did a little Love Island promo here, didn't we? I know. Yeah, they've all tried to erase it from their minds, but unfortunately they can't. Now, what we did at Premier Sports is we took to Twitter to do a poll to see which one of you boys we're most likely to lose to Love Island. Kev Brown, don't you worry, your job here is safe. You just look like you had a headache.
You didn't get one vote.
You didn't know.
And my mum voted.
Leon, you're safe. You're going to be joining us tomorrow. Right. Ross Finners, don't you worry, the shades just didn't cut it. Unfortunately, you're going to be back here tomorrow. But Andrew Henderson, the Love Island Villa away.
Wow.
Can you look at this? Let's just have a look at what won you 42% of the votes. Hendo, I've got to ask you.
Wow.
How many
That is
times?
cringeworthy. That's cringeworthy TV right there. Wow. Oh,
I'm sending that to your brother.
Do not.
Ian,
Do not.
I'm sending that to my friend
mate,
Ian.
I'll not leave that down.
Hendo, just on a serious note, how does it feel to have got 42% of the votes and know that you're going to be joining the
Flattered.
Villa?
I'm very flattered, and thank you to all those who did vote. I don't know how many did, but for that 42%, fantastic. It made it all worthwhile in the end. Thanks, Emma.
Hendo, don't worry, they'll kick you straight out. You absolute bombshell. Thank you very much. Leon, Kev, thank you as always. And thank you for joining us for the first day of the Summer Bash here at Headingley. It has been absolutely phenomenal, and we cannot wait for you to join us again tomorrow live here on Premier Sports 1 from 1:15. Good night.